the team that started against Wales the other night. I mean, a lot of the players are playing in the Premier League or top-end European football, so it shows
When I'm
you
done
the
smoking,
quality
I want to come up and say please don't
the
message
MLS
you.
is producing. In America. I think even when I go over now and I'm looking for a game to watch, you can pretty much find it any bar that I go into in hotels or restaurants, whatever it might be.
Yeah, man. And we are live. We are live. Senegal versus Qatar. Edouard, Mendy, and Kalidou. Koulibaly starts. Pick them up. Pick them up in the place. Yeah, man.
Is vastly improving. The tactical side was always the issue that they struggled with, but the influx of European coaches going out to America helping the coaches, but also what the American coaches are brilliant at doing, and they are desperate to do, is learn, and they're willing to travel to learn as well. And they come over to Europe and they do their qualifications over here and try and learn as much as they can as well. And they are very, very intelligent. But there's this horrible stigma around them, and it's one that's like aimed at Jesse Marsh a lot. Is just the Ted Lasso and the cliches and what have you. And yeah, I don't like it, if I'm being completely honest, because these guys deserve respect. They deserve to get to the top, and once they get to the top, they've got there for a reason. There's a lot of people who don't get to manage either a top Premier League team or a top team in Europe, which Jesse Marsh has done both. And I think it's a bit unfair.
But they've certainly got, Rory, the players to hurt England.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting with the States is that the type of player that we associate with them has changed a little bit over the last 20 years. If you think back to your formative years, Steve, it was John Hart, Roy Wegerle, are these names that are bringing back memories?
Kobe Jones.
But Hart actually was a really good player, but we kind of thought of American players as being industrious, largely goalkeepers, not really technically gifted maybe, which isn't fair on either Wegerle or Hart, actually, but they weren't like creative players. They were good at their pros, articulate, intelligent, hard working. That kind of changed the like Clint Dempsey, who had that one or two really great seasons in the Premier League. We saw them a bit again. He scored a lot of goals, but he was hard running, he was industrious. Whereas now I think they're starting to produce players who are a little bit more.
Come on, Mendy and Koulibaly. Big them up. Big them up. I appreciate the views. Remember to like the video as well, Remember to like the video as well, Oh, who's gonna win today? Leave your vote in the poll.
In the US at the moment is does Greg Berhalter, the coach, play probably his most talented.
Leave your vote in the poll.
He's not played a lot of football.
Let me know who's gonna win.
I guess he feels he's ready. Berhalter's that he chose not to play him as a coach's decision, which we would call, to translate for the audience, that means a tactical choice rather than injury. But in America, it's called a coach's decision. And I think Rayner's the one who's got something a little bit different about him. The other player to watch out for is Yunus Musa at Valencia, who was born in the States but spent a lot of his childhood across in Europe. Musa's very young, but he's a really good player. They actually have a really nice balance to their team, and that maybe showcases that they are starting to produce a broader variety of players.
Rory, thank you very much. Be more villager, be less wolf for the next few weeks, yeah?
I don't know what that means.
Something to do with that game, I don't know. Cheers, Rory. Rory Smith from the New York Times with us on 5 Live Sport. Let's get some more reaction to Wales' 2-0 loss to Iran. Gareth Bale has been speaking to Carl Roberts.
And then we're trying to still score or keep it 0-0, but it's difficult. The last 10 minutes, everyone's tired. They're flooding forward. It's difficult, but it's hard to take. But all we can do is just recover, look back on where it went wrong, try to improve, and we go again.
The manager made changes to try and
No. Can you love me again?
Yeah, it's difficult when anyone goes out to 10 men, especially in a World Cup against good teams. It's difficult, but
who's gonna win today?
We obviously don't blame anybody. It happens in football, but like I said, it's just difficult to take so now because it's so raw.
Now, in the second half, they came onto you a lot more, Gareth. The intensity of their game raised. When you opened up, did you feel like you could have got a winner?
Yeah, I think we always believed that 0-0 we could have one chance to win the game, and we always believed that. So that's kind of what we were trying to do. We were trying to still stay on the front foot. I think you saw with the changes, bringing Brennan and DJ on to keep attacking and get the ball in the box. Yeah, we wanted to try and win the game, but yeah, obviously going down to 10 men, it's difficult, and yeah, we got punished in the end.
Definitely you have to go and beat England in the last game to stand any chance of going through.
I appreciate the views. Leave a like on the video or vote on the poll who will win in this match.
It was interesting, James. That's the second time we've heard from Gareth Bale since the final whistle. The first time you could hear there was a lot of shock there, and he was able to really get his words together in that second interview. But as he was asked at the end, got to go beat England to have any chance.
Yeah, we have, and that's what it's come down to.
Appreciate the views, people. Remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and also leave a vote in the poll.
I don't think it's been good enough in both days. I know Gaz talks about the sending off there, Wayne Hennessy, but I think before that there was chances. We were second best, so I get the sending off. You know, we've lost the game, but I think before that the whole performance wasn't really there, and deserved to lose the game. But like you say, we've got a chance. What is a chance? You know, you've got to have a go. We'll play England. It'll be a huge game for everybody in Wales. Obviously, who we're playing. So
where is my juice?
We certainly need to be better in that game.
Absolutely good to all the emotions sitting next to you this afternoon. Thank you very much for being with us. Top man for the Wales International, James Collins, who's been with us. Right, let's turn our attention to the game that kicks off in 10 minutes' time. Full commentary of Qatar versus Senegal. Qatar have already become the first host nation to lose their opening game. They could this afternoon become the
How can these people say
hosts in World
Qatar?
history. Conor McNamara has the
It's
team.
Qatar.
Yes,
Like, I don't see how people can
make
can just get these things mixed up. It's Qatar.
Like, he was erratic at the kindest, and
Big up all the people on the live stream. Big man up.
Their goalkeeper. It means that Hisham Barsha, who's the younger brother of the reigning world and Olympic high jump champion Mutaz Essa Barsa, he starts in goal for Qatar. They make 3 changes from the 2-0 defeat to Ecuador in that opening game.
2-0 defeat to Ecuador.
Asim Medivo also come in, and Braoui and Hatim are the 2 who drop out. And for Senegal, well, they made changes too. 2 changes from their opening defeat when they also lost by 2 goals to 0, but against the Netherlands on Monday. Deju comes in, and so too Ishmael Jacobs, who's a Monaco left back. Jacobs will come in place of Cisse, who played centre half in the opening game. We think that Diallo will move into the centre, and that will allow Jacobs to operate on the left-hand side. But for Senegal, there is that massive gaping vacuum where Sadio Mane was and potentially should have been in this tournament. And they are still waiting to score. Up until Ghana got 2 against Portugal last night, no African team had even scored in this tournament.
Pick up everyone in the live stream. Appreciate the views and the likes.
Of World Cup 2022 today.
And Stephen, if we've learned anything,
Leave a vote on the poll as well.
Don't judge anybody on one performance.
No, and I think that's the vital thing. There's no huge pressure on Qatar to perform in that first game. You could sense that when they walked out onto the pitch, that anticipation. When we spoke before the game, I was on with Kelly myself, and we were talking about it, and we were saying that Qatar hadn't played. Well, the players have been released from the clubs, and they've been working with the national team for sort of a 6-month period. There hadn't been much competitive football, so you could see that within the players. Hopefully today they give a good account of themselves and we get a good game.
All yours, Connor.
Thanks very much, Steve. As the teams walk out the tunnel at the Al Kuala Stadium, you know, Qatar have been looking forward to this World Cup for such a long time. For many of these players, they've been put in special academies since they were kids. We're going back over a decade ago, hoping that they would grow up to be the professional footballers they are today, and that they could represent their team. And it was such a flat, deflated balloon of an opener. Qatar, Stephen, can they regain a bit of pride today, do you think?
Well, I think that's what they'll be desperate to do. Felix Sanchez has been part of the aspiring.
Oh yeah, to everyone as well. Trevor Chalobah signed a new long-term contract, keeping him at Stamford Bridge up until 2028. Trevor Chalobah, my brother. I appreciate the views, everyone. Let me know in the comments or in the poll who's going to win today. Senegal or Qatar. Let me know in the comments or in the poll. Appreciate everyone that's already done the poll as well. Appreciate it. Man, like 7 views, fam. Appreciate the views, everyone. Appreciate the views. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more Chelsea content. There's a Chelsea player watch-along we're watching, Edouard, Mendy, and Kalidou Koulibaly. My Chelsea man there. Senegal man there. You know. To a certain extent, you know. The match is going to start in about 3 minutes.
Right into their faces, down along the line, some glassy, watery eyes too. They have felt a lot of pressure in the build-up, Qatar. They do not feel they've shown the best of themselves in that opening defeat to Ecuador. But a big problem for the host, Stephen Warnock, is that arguably on paper they face a more difficult challenge. And Senegal, who've shown in the recent
I ain't got so much money on me.
major tournaments. Yeah, they do. And there's a real feeling that they underperformed against
on the project,
they need to put in a good
couldn't even
performance
get
tonight.
along.
However, we know that the nerves were there for Qatar in the first game. They'll want to be more organised. They'll want to be better on the ball. We see that they are technically gifted. They have won Asia Cups in the past, so they are a team that's capable of winning titles. I think it was back in 2019 they won the Asia Cup. So they are a dangerous team. However, we expect Senegal to have enough quality, but this has been a tournament of upsets so far. After all the build-up, after all the money spent.
I love for the likes and the views. Appreciate everybody. I've got 12 views in here. Appreciate it. Can we get to 20 views? Can we get to 10 likes? Remember to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Can I get 200 subscribers by the end of this video? We have 180. Come on, my people there. Come on.
Al Stadium in Doha, Qatar are very much playing for their survival in the tournament. The new goalkeeper, Michel Basham, has come in. It's his 17th cap. He saved the decisive penalty in an Arab Cup victory against Egypt last year. Big day for him, though. A goalkeeper who didn't expect to be first choice in the group stages. 3 central defenders, Ismail Mohammed, Gulligan Pookie, and Abdul Karim Hassan. His 132nd cap, a very experienced player. Who's one of the few of the Qatari squad with experience of playing abroad. He alone spent Belgium 4 years ago. The 2 wing-backs, Pedro Miguel Roro, they call him, and Homen Ahmed on the left-hand side. In midfield, the captain, Hassan Hedus. Then he's alongside Karim Boudiev and Asim Debo, who comes into the team. He turned 26 last month. He's a very diminutive player. He's just 5'6" tall. But he's been likened in style to a kind of N'Golo Kante type player. And that's probably what Qatar need to try and gain some control of the central area. Up front, the regular 2, Alvarez Ali and Akram Afif, who all the television cameras have been trained upon in the build-up. He's got the sort of Mo Salah hair too. He stands out, but can his football stand out today? Well, he needs the ball. What we didn't see was enough of the ball. They didn't get that service to them in the game against Ecuador. There was no sort of cohesion between the midfield and the attacking lines, and that has to be better. But the job for Senegal is to prevent the service going into the two strikers because they are very potent.
Plenty familiar names in the Senegal team. Chelsea goalkeeper Edouard Mendy plays behind the back four of Yusuf Sabali and Leo Mendes.
Appreciate everyone for the likes and the views. Love for that. Love for that. The match is about to start though.
In the midfield, Nicolas Mendy of Leicester and Idrissa Gueye of Everton, with three attacking midfielders, Crépin Diatta of Monaco on the right-hand side. Ismail Sarr, we know him well from Watford. Here it's his 50th captain as we get underway.
The match has started. The match has started.
Abdoulaye Dia, who plays in Italy with Salvatore on loan from Villarreal. The ball is looked forward by Qatar. Koulibaly clears it away. It doesn't go very far. It goes out for a throw-in to Qatar on the left-hand side when Ahmed takes it. The ball is played in midfield by Abdul Karim Hassan. Qatar briefly give it away, but then they win it back again. Pedro Miguel looks to be starting in the advanced roll up on the right-hand side, very much as an attacking wing-back. How brave are Qatar going to be in this game? It's the first ever meeting of these two nations. They've never even taken each other on in a friendly in the past. It's also the first time that Senegal have ever taken on the host nation at any World Cup. Koulibaly looks to come out of defence. High press from Senegal, though, sends him back to the goalkeeper, Michel Barsha. Qatar, Senegal, 0-0 in the opening minute.
Yeah, early on you can just see that Qatar trying to be more composed than they were against Ecuador. I think they came flying on the traps. They were probably a little bit over-enthusiastic. Now there's a real calmness about them. Trying to grow themselves into the game, and that's hugely important.
It's Yusuf Sabali, who's in Spain, came through the Paris Saint-Germain Youth Academy. He's the right back for Senegal. Tries to come down that side. He's challenged by Oman Ahmed, and the ball goes out of play for a Senegal throw. The African Cup of Nations champions are wearing all white. They're playing from left to right as we looked at Qatar in their regular maroon. Koulibaly, 66th cap for the man who is the captain of that African Cup of Nations win in the past 12 months. Sabali again, happy to play the same ball back to Koulibaly. To his left-hand side, Abdou Diallo. Played at left back in the opening match, back in his more natural habitat of central defence. For this second game in the group to Senegal, who hoping they might get a corner here, but it's gone out for a goal kick. Goal kick to Qatar. Still Qatar 0, Senegal 0.
I think Qatar have to improve on his physicality. Improve that side of the game has to improve today.
The home support left the stadium long before the end of Qatar's opening game. The question today, can the hosts give a better showing of themselves? Can they keep the interest of the crowd to the very end? And frankly, Stephen, if the crowd
Come on, Senegal.
I just wonder will there be a pressure on them to stay inside the stadium from the security personnel, because there was a lot of sort of negative publicity about how the fans on the circle. I'm sure there's been a lot made about how, no matter how bad things are going on the scoreboard, there'll be an encouragement, shall we say, for the Qatar needs to stay to the bitter end.
Yeah, and I think he should anyway. I mean, first one.
Same thing. What's your score prediction?
As well. The team. I know it'll be very difficult for them to watch the team.
It's 3-0 Senegal.
The players need.
We're saying 3-0 Senegal.
From them, and they're very vocal behind the goal.
I think it's going to be 1-0 Senegal.
Qatari team is shooting against.
Senegal attacking down the left.
In the last game, fam, the attacking threat weren't much, fam. We ruled.
Capacity of the stadium is 44,000. There's much to be made.
Obviously, playing against Netherlands is a good, strong team.
Yeah.
But Qatar,
I mean, they've been to so many World Cups over the years. That is normal.
they're on their thing, even though Ecuador, how much Ecuador beat them 2-0?
Not with the hosts are playing.
Yeah.
It's really strange to see that there are plenty of empty seats in this stadium as Senegal break into the.
I appreciate the views and the likes, everyone.
The front post, and the Watford man is screaming that it should be a corner. It's going to be a goal kick. That's the best chance of the game so far. He just couldn't smother it in the near post.
Now, lovely dancing feet from Ismail Assar, and it should be a corner. It's really good defending from Qatar. They managed to get across. They managed to squeeze out the danger. Adebo comes across, and he just gets a toe onto the ball to push it round the post, but lovely feet from Ismail Assar.
Spanish officials, Antonio Matelajo is the man in charge. He's widely considered to be one of the best referees in UEFA.
He's taken charge of many important matches, including the Champions League final last year when Manchester City and Chelsea met. Antonio Matteo was the referee for that one. The ultimate officials from Peru and Argentina as part of the team, and the multiples of offside VARs and assistant VARs and whatnot. Qatar fans are making a big song and dance away to the left-hand side, jumping up and down in unison. Pedro Miguel, born in Portugal, stands his ground at right back, wins the challenge and helps it back to the goalkeeper. Michel Bachin is able to clear up towards the halfway line, but he can't get it to act from the feet. The star man is still waiting for possession to come his way in the game.
So jarring that Mendy is not playing this World Cup. It's jarring. Senegal would be a force to be more of a force to be reckoned with. But Mendy as well, I'm worried about Mendy, fam. He hasn't been looking like, even the last game against Senegal for against Netherlands, like the second goal, he could have done better. And even this season, people are calling him out.
Was it a bench now?
Huh?
Bench now? That's crazy.
Bro,
This
this time last year, there was no question about who's number one. No question. Now we're getting questioned about who's number one. Look how much a year changes. Literally, this time last year he was on top of the world, fam. Literally just slapped top Juventus 4-0 in that. But fam, then after that the crumble happened. Chua got injured in that match, and that was the start. That was the start. So boy, Thomas Tuchel was still here with champions of Europe, with the champions of Europe.
I don't know why Mendy so hesitant when he's on the ball. It doesn't make sense. Like, he'll have so much time on the ball, and then he'll take way too long. And then by that time, he's getting closed down, and then he's shaking. I don't get it. I don't understand. If you don't know what you want to do, just clear it. Just clear it down. I'm just silent because I'd rather you do that than try to do a pass which can intercept it.
Like he tries to hold up. It's like even in that West Ham match, like last season, when I don't know if it was Lanzini that was on him. My man got the ball passed back to him, and then like he just took too long. Then he ends up giving away a foul. Like the worst thing about it is that obviously with goalkeepers, because they're so tall, they're going to be stiff. But he's stiff. He's stiff. But I would have hoped that he could be our keeper to win us the Premier League. But I don't see us winning the Premier League for like another 2 or 3 seasons. And I don't think he'll be here in that time. So we need to get another keeper to win the Premier League. Don't need us to get one this season, but yeah, man, I doubt we're gonna get. Oh, why did you pass it? Oh my days, bro! You shouldn't have passed it. Look at this. Why did man shoot? Why didn't he shoot? Man tried to pass it, man. For left footed, that's perfect. Bins that, bro.
Honestly, like it just ran him out of play. But good play from Deju, who's come into the team today. He's playing high up the park to support Dia, and then he gets into an advanced position. Very unselfish, I have to say. I think you'd have probably just swiveled on it, took the shot yourself, but he was unselfish. Senegal playing with Ismail Sarr on the right, Krepin Diatta on the left. They've got Lamara Deju in the number 10 role, and then the striker wearing number 9 is Olaya Dia, his 21st cap. Playing in that same role that he operated against the Netherlands on Monday, the role which Sadio Mane would have been occupying had he been fit and not missed out on this World Cup. They're also without Keita Balde, who's serving a long suspension for a bad substance. Boulassar, who's
Hey, you know, did you see on the FIFA team that what's his name, Richarlison, he's gonna get like one of those man of the match awards, which might mean that his runs to watch might go up again.
today now is when they have to show up. players.
It's already going to 86. Imagine if it becomes 87.
You were going to the one. You just need to get man of the match from. Just get that from him, bro.
Just get a goal. If he scores 2 goals, I feel like he can score 2 goals. Unless it's like a 1-0 team, it just depends on what other people are doing. Hopefully, what do you think not Senegal? What do you think the England versus USA results in?
I feel like
maybe with the link to Qatar and their grandparents or something like that. But even if bring them, get them a cinema.
I see them scoring.
It depends on what the other team is doing. So, I appreciate the comment, bro.
Who's coming to the team? He's the player operating as the right wing back at the moment. Chance to cross the ball in by Ishmael Jacobs from the left for Senegal, but it's immediately repelled away. And the African nation will regain possession of the halfway line. And Mendy, very strong in the challenge there, brings it to within 15 yards of the Qatari penalty area. He's crossed though, it's overstruck. Diata's done very well with the flashy and then into the sideline to keep the ball in play. Jacobs with the cross into the centre again. Koulibaly is there. And he's diving header has got good distance on it. And he's able to clear away all the way down to the other end. So it remains 0-0. Qatar against Senegal. Attacking down the left-hand side for Senegal is Diata. He's shown some very fancy touches so
Yeah, I
far.
remember Diata.
Senegal
Had his
trying to
road to the knockout squad last year.
but Qatar keeping it very tight.
You know what's funny? Certain men, I'll hear their names, and there is I'll know because I had them in my own team.
Dia tries to control his stomach. It's very competitive at the moment. And then Palace Mendy finds the ball whipped off his toe. The loose ball rolls to Somali. And he will try to take on Ahmed. Try to get to the bar, and across comes Abdul Karim Hassan. And that goes out for a throw into Senegal on the right hand side. Still 0-0. Stephen Warner. Yeah, it's been a good start to the game from Senegal. They've grown into it. They've started to put pressure on. One of the
Come on, man, Senegal. You need to win. 1-0 victory. Oh my days, too much, fam.
Qatar many problems, and it's the second balls that they're really struggling with Qatar to win them. Eventually live on BBC Radio 5 Live, on BBC Sounds, and across Africa on the BBC World Service. Right, I know we've got so many listeners who'll be absolutely glued to the progress of Senegal here. And it's the thing I remember being in South Africa in 2010, Steve, the World Cup. If you take a European example, if Germany were the last European team left in it, I'm not necessarily saying that Irish people or English people or Scottish would want Germany to do well, but there does seem to be a great camaraderie between the African nations.
Somebody give away a foul, but it's not like he didn't
Yeah,
get
it seems that way. It seems that everyone's desperate for an African nation to win the World Cup, or at least to progress to the semi-finals. Ghana were the furthest, the team that progressed the furthest the last time out, and lost against Uruguay on penalties and went so close to making the semi-finals. And I think hopefully African nations are hoping that this will be the year. Great kick to Qatar. It's inside the Senegal. Qatar haven't really been anywhere near the Senegal penalty area so far. There's one cross from Ahmed that was blocked to the edge of the box. But Afifa's standing over this free kick now, and he's waving his arms. He's trying to get the movement of his teammates. Hassan Eldor. Alhedos, the captain, is there too. 170th cap for Qatar's number 10 today. In the end, they take the free kick short. Now Afif will play it in towards the back post.
Is that Jamal's brethren?
Senegal haven't been able to clip it away. Alhedos has done well. Done really well to keep
I swear Jamal said, yeah, you think he has a family member that plays for Qatar? Or is it Saudi Arabia? True say, I just heard someone say last name was Afif, but I know that's Jamal's name. So I was thinking maybe it's this much. Appreciate the views, people, and the likes. Vote on the poll. Who's going to win today, Senegal or Qatar?
It's caused a few problems within the Senegalese defensive area, and then as it falls to Afif, it's always such a difficult skill as it's coming towards him. It's always rising, difficult to get his knee over the ball and keep it low. It rises, keeps on rising and goes into the ground behind the goal.
Senegal's chance to come on the attack with a tricky Diatta.
And come on, Diatta.
Now he's done very well here. From his place clearance by Mohamed, and he shoots from a tight angle, and has to be straight out for a corner by Shab Hassan. The goalkeeper and his angles covered in the near post, and with both gloves he pushes it out. There was a mistake initially there from Mohamed.
Yeah, she said she was going to come.
To get back and make the challenge. I think the rookie eventually was saved out for the corner. Corner to Senegal on the left-hand side. Qatar bring everyone back. Idrissa Gueye of Everton, who's earning his 98th cap for Senegal, is the player to take it. There is much jostling for position in the middle. A false run up from Idrissa Gueye. Now here he comes.
Oh! Oh my days, them and there, that should have been a goal. Sure.
He never looked likely to get that. Pedro Miguel has gone down injured. There's also a Senegalese player down as well. I think it's Abou Diallo. But that was so close to being the opening goal of the game. And the goalkeeper, Michel Basha, is mightily relieved.
Oh, he's a lucky boy because he's in no man's land as he comes for it. He doesn't even try and punch it, he just flaps at it, he just pushes a palm towards it. And Al Shaib, who played in the last game, lost his place because of the frailties of coming out to collect crosses and how weak he looked. Doesn't look like they've had much of an improvement in that area, and that is a real concern. From a Senegalese point of view, keep on putting the ball in the box.
Yeah, the two players in the clash of heads, they're both down receiving treatment. And I think that's all that saved Bashir, the goalkeeper there. He's come out and completely missed it. The other two clash heads. If it wasn't for that clash of heads, there's every chance Abdou Diallo would have scored.
Yeah, quite possibly. Just takes his eye off it, and because he knows there's a challenge, not only coming in from the goalkeeper, but coming in from the defender as well. Luckily, it looks like both players are going to find a way to the feet. I think it's Miguel who's clashed heads with Diallo as well.
Yeah. There's a delay here. I think
Appreciate the views, people.
Pedro Miguel, the reason he gets hurt is the player lands on him. Diallo, as he's falling to the ground, lands on the leg of Pedro Miguel, I think, and I think that's the reason that he's not getting treatment. We've got this break in play. You can see the perspiration of the players. You can see their shirts are sticking to their bodies in the Qatari heat. Just a reminder of what's coming up later on after Wales defeat to Iran in the 10 a.m. kickoff UK time. There's a lot of World Cup football to come. The Dutch against Ecuador is a 4 o'clock start, and the Netherlands, who've only ever lost 2 games to South American opposition at World Cups, they have a very good record against South American teams. They take on Ecuador this afternoon, and then from 7 p.m. this evening, back to Group B, England against USA. Correspondent John Murray will be alongside Rob Green for that one, the 3rd ever meeting of England and the USA at the World Cup. And England have yet to beat the Americans. Could this be the opportunity?
Yeah, you'd look at it on paper and you'd say after the result against Iran and the way America played in the second half against Wales, that you'd fancy England to go into that game as strong favourites. Not the confidence of the Americans, though. They will go into that game feeling fully confident that they can continue that good reign of form against England.
You know, it would be so funny. What? Imagine if Pulisic scores a 90th minute when he gets England and he pulls up his top and it says on the right, it's soccer, not football.
Well, one thing I'll say is that's my boy. That's what I'll be like, that's my boy.
That would be so long.
Yeah, that's what I'll be on. That's my boy. Captain America. Yeah.
First half of the El Cimano Stadium, the first yellow card has been shown.
That's what I'll be so gassed if that happens. Because then that made me just want to go buy his promo card. If they win, that means they're going through. Because Wales have just lost, and they're not going to beat England. No way is Wales going to beat England. And the USA will definitely beat Iran. Well, I hope so anyway. Wales couldn't beat them. Wales would have got a draw if they didn't go down to 10 men. Obviously, I didn't watch the match, so I can't even speak now. But yeah, man. I just want every Chelsea player available just to go to knockout rounds, man.
Patrice Gay. Well, 20 minutes in, we've got a competitive game. We didn't have that the other night against
This is how Qatar wish they'd started against Edouard. Class from Somali on the right hand side is way overcooked it.
What kind of a rule is that, bro?
Boxes out harmlessly for the goal cage So coverage of every match of the 2022 World Cup on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. You can get the World Cup Daily podcast each morning, the reaction, the debate, the analysis on that podcast on BBC Sounds. And while you're on BBC Sounds, check out the Match of the League Top 10. A good laugh with Gary, Alan and Micah. That is out and available on BBC Sounds right now. Everything feels so World Cup centric at the moment, but tomorrow, Saturday, FA Cup second round. You can listen on Live Sports Extra at Forest Green against Alderchurch and also Dagenham and Redbridge against Gillingham. So football exists elsewhere, even with everything going on in Qatar.
I'm at Forest Green.
Are you guys?
I am. I'm covering it for TV tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. A little bit of a change away from the World Cup. That should be a cracking game.
Kick to Senegal.
So for his though, did you see the confirmed Messi card? The confirmed Messi card is coming as a right winger.
Looked all at sea for the last set piece when he came and floundered at the corner. And Ishmael Jacobs, the left back, looks like he's going to play this.
Appreciate the views and the likes, please. Can we get this video to 10 likes? Get this video to 10 likes. I want it to be a striker from me. Huh? No, I will take it. I'll go with Dembele in it. So I got Dembele on my right wing, so I'll take him out. But I need to see how much it's going to cost.
That's what's about Messi. They better put that right away.
Hopefully, at least it's 90 pace though. What's his shooting again? 84. What? 81 shooting? Hunter that anyway. I feel like explosive players are the ones now.
It's like 07 Messi.
Huh?
It's like 07 Messi.
With long hair and that.
I'm thinking that's like 07.
I know. It wasn't his prime at Barcelona yet. Like, that was before it. 07 Pep wasn't even there. Yeah, I saw it. And someone else. Yeah. And then back here.
What's your view of the decision to rotate the keepers? Because we know from club football to international football that there's very few teams that ever have a rotation of that position. You always tend to have a number one. And even if he has a bad game, he's given another chance sort of thing. So to immediately hook him after one game, do you end up in effect with two nervous goalkeepers?
Well, he doesn't become a bad goalkeeper off one game, and you don't. It's not like you have to see him training for a week and training for the last 6 months. So you don't make a decision and say, "Oh, you can't come out and play balls all of a sudden." I think it's
Does he need a scapegoat? Do you think just one guy to blame?
Yeah, possibly. But for a continent. You want continuity with this.
A shot from the edge of the penalty area, neat 1-2 on the edge of the box. He kept it low, but he couldn't get it on target. He's directed wide on the left hand side. He's got
No one can just walk past and get in. You can walk past the video, you won't see you on the video. They won't catch you on the video. That's
I
why.
think it surprised both of us because suddenly he just gives a little bit of pace into the pass.
Will you come in there for?
Give and go with Diaz, and then he just strikes it across the body, going into the far corner. It just goes past the far left-hand post. Really good move from Idris again.
He's one of those players who's very careful today. He just looked against the Netherlands on Monday. If he was to be shown another yellow card today, he would miss the final group game against Ecuador. Sabali gives it short to Gay. Looks to return the 1-2, which seemed to be a good return. And Sabali is intimating there that he was held onto by Hassan El Hedous as he tried to scamper after it, but the officials weren't buying that. And it will be a goal kick to Qatar. Right to the right-hand side. Good noise inside this stadium, which will host 8 games in all. At this World Cup, it was the venue for Senegal's opening game, the 2-0 defeat to the Netherlands. It was also the venue for that 7-0 win for Spain against Costa Rica on Wednesday. So this pitch has seen plenty of goals so far. Senegal have had 5 attempts at goals so far. However, only one of them on target. remains for now. Qatar 0, Senegal 0.
Yeah, it's been a really good start to the game from Senegal. Qatar have held firm, they've been strong, they do look better the other night, and now we're seeing them come on the attack again.
There's a burst forward from the defender, who gives it the big welly, and I think to the take a deflection off the crease again.
Most of the deflection you wasn't, or did.
I think that's definitely a corner. It
That's
comes off
definitely
the
a
crease again. It bobbled a little bit in front of it, but actually that just led to him getting more.
Why? Look at your touch, fam. Scary.
To his confidence, the world of the goalkeeper comes out, dives at the feet of Ismail Assar and makes a good save, and that's the best contribution the Qatari replacement keeper has made in the game so far.
Yeah, really alert. He had to be on the edge of his box to come out and claim the ball, Barsha. He did really well, but now we're seeing the Qataris growing confidence, single goal again.
Natives onto Edouard. Now Ismail Mohammed on the right hand side chips it into the penalty area, but that's where the move breaks down, and Ali isn't able to hold on to it.
Yeah.
Senegal
Appreciate it.
possession once again with Abdou Diallo. 0-0, 27 minutes play.
Has to be better there, Ali. He has to know that there's players around him. And great anticipation from Senegal and Kay just to step in and know that he's going to turn into his player. But you've got to understand, you're in the penalty box. You're not going to be afforded that much space.
Appreciate the views, people. Can we get some likes up on the video? Can we get some likes on the video?
Cookie's clearance, which looked routine, but looked like he going to just put it out for a throw in. He sliced it out for a corner. All those Spaniards who have taken charge of other countries, only one of them has ever reached the knockout stages of a World Cup, and that's Roberto Martinez with Belgium 4 years ago in Russia, and he'll hope to do it again here in Qatar as the corner comes in from the far side. Headed away by our boys Ali, the forward, who was back helping out the defence of the set piece. Goes over the play for a throw into Qatar, to Senegal, midway inside the Qatar half. Left hand side for them. Sabali, who won the Copa del Rey with Betis earlier on this year. Take the 1-2 with Ismail Assar, Watford player, who's formed this season a little bit has matched his club. Watford, he's been great occasions, and then he's had very quiet spells as well. We know he's got a lot of potential. Here is Pepe Diatta, cross from the left-hand side. Cookie was backpedaling at the edge of his 6-yard box. Jumps once, jumps twice. Second header isn't good. Goes backwards. Bartram's going to come out. And then the follow-up by Sabali with the goalkeeper down the deck, but the referee's whistle blows. And Qatar has saved some brushes there. Barsha, who's done well in shot saving situations, but coming out airily. Okay, he's got his fist to that, but it all looked a bit messy.
Yeah, I think he had to punch it though. I don't think he could have claimed it because he was under pressure from Ismail Assar, so he had to come through the ball and make sure it was a good punch. Just unfortunately for him, it fell to the Senegal right back, Sabali, who flashes it wide of the goal. It was a poor effort in the end. Really taking a little bit more care in the shot at goal.
The BBC Sounds and across Africa on the BBC World Service, 0-0 between Qatar and Senegal as Youssouf Sabaly mops things up at the edge of his own penalty area, gives it back to Chelsea goalkeeper Edouard. Mendy, those two play a couple of 1-2s between them, and then eventually Mendy gives it the big boot away downfield. But I see Mendy wings the header, then he gets it back down the deck and shuffles it onto Hassan Al-Halos, who will attack down the right hand side. He's got support too from Ismail Mohammed. The cross needs to be
Mendy,
it's very
easy.
Mendy comes, and that's really good calm goalkeeping. Hands high above his head. Edouard Mendy gathers, tries to counter-attack. He's picked out his one aside. Bartram's come out of his penalty area.
So he can do it. So he can do it. He can distribute.
He can. His distribution has been decent. Like,
Because when he's under
it's not.
pressure.
Yeah, it's when he's under pressure. It's not good. Oh my days! So he nearly could have got an assist if Mama fixed up. Wow.
Fortuitously, it ends up back in his hands from his own defender who heads it up into the air. He's going to be entertaining today.
What a clearance, by the way, from Edouard Mendy. I mean, that was like one of those Allison from Mo Salah assists there. The clearance of the goalkeeper after catching the ball was a perfect pass to the Watford winger.
Yeah, lovely sidewinder of a kick into the forward. Sets them on the attack. That will be a danger because you can see Qatar are trying to play a high line, and it was a lovely catch and take for Mendy.
It's a yellow card now for
was late in his challenge on Ahmed there, so he goes into the referee's book for one yellow card apiece now so far. The good news for Qatar, they've had as many touches in the opposition penalty area already in this game as they did in the full 90 minutes plus stoppage time against Ecuador last weekend. There's been more intent, there's been a calmness to them, they understand. The one thing when I watched Qatar the other night was they were far too expansive. It's like they feel that they could just come and use it as a trade, not a training exercise.
No, it was on the project, couldn't even get along.
The team you're playing, they'll move the ball quicker, they'll make it difficult for you in transition. I think they've tightened up those gaps, and now you can see that they're trying to find a way to pitch. Just the break in play, and Ahmed is the player getting treatment. We've seen a few more replays of, I think, so 20 shot flash and out to the edge of the penalty area and cleared away with his feet now. There's no doubt he gets a touch on the ball first, but then he follows through, and I wonder if there's an argument to say that Ismail Assar might have been able to get onto that ball had the goalkeeper not followed through and kicked him. It's not completely clear cut, but I think there's a conversation to be had. I think it falls under that bracket. If it's not the goalkeeper, correct, then it's a foul. Yeah, any other player on the pitch, goalkeepers do get treated a little bit carefully. We've got some of this breaking play. Just to let you know, we're going to hear from the Wales coach, Rob Page, during a half-time in this game. We'll be back in the studio with Steve Crosswell. We'll get more reaction to Wales' defeat against Iran earlier on. I mean, I wonder if there's coming any complaints for Wales, Stephen, because Iran played so much. They played really well, counter-attack well, looked better technically than Wales. Wales look very, very fatigued. It just gets the sense at the moment that he's very loyal, Rob Page, to his players, and you look at the changes in perhaps Ramsey should have been taken off the pitch. I think he just showed signs of fatigue, and then late on in the game, obviously the Hennessy red card doesn't help the situation, but they should have been behind before that. Yeah, Wales are going to rouse themselves for their final group game. They have one more chance to try and keep the dream going. Anyway, we'll hear from Rob Page at half-time in this match. We will also be previewing the next game of the 4 o'clock kickoff UK time, the Netherlands against Ecuador. Ecuador, who conceded a single goal in their last 7 matches. Can they keep the Dutch out? That's going to be one to look forward to. The stoppage in play when Ahmed went down, it wasn't for an injury on his ankle. He actually fell on his hand running. He's had treatment on his wrist. What made me laugh was all the Qatari players helping him back up by his wrist, pulling the injured away. So Mendy facing a ball. He's in here. Big chance. Oh, he wants a penalty. He's got done so easily. The referee says no.
That's not a pen.
He wanted the penalty.
That's not a pen.
He seemed to go from underneath him. He's waiting for the contact. We'll wait to see the
This is not a pen.
He's got his hands clasped in prayer, and he's waving at the Spanish referee, and the video
I
assistant.
took a shot, but realistically,
No, he took long. No, but it's a pen, but he did take long.
it's a pen.
Straight away, my thought was he's got every right to cut across. It's Ismail Assar who gets back. He doesn't get any contact on the ball. I think it's clumsy. I think that is very, very clumsy. That is more of a penalty than the one on Ronaldo last night. Well, the referee at the time said no. The video assistant referee will be in his ear. VAR is Hernandez of Spain. And there is no indication the play is going to be held up here. If we take the goal kick, it'll be done until we get to see another replay. It's, for me, I know what you're saying, he's allowed to shield and protect the ball. For me, he's leaning in saying, come on, touch me, and as soon as he does, he goes down. He wants it because he knows the angle's too tight, and I think he thinks his touch isn't the best touch to get away. But when we talk about consistency of decisions, if you're going to give the Ronaldo one last night, you have to give that one as well. It's a talking point, it really is. And for the hosts, looking for their first goal of the tournament, it's a huge one. Here is trouble. Sarr takes advantage of a back pass. And it can't be finished off by Day2. And Barsha taking some time down to his left, but it's not even a proper save. They couldn't get the final shot through there. Qatar's defensive mistake goes unpunished. Well, Kuki does really well just to get a little toe end on the ball. Here we go again. Senegal. I tell you, you look at Qatar when they break forward. Senegal are very light in the fullback positions. They're throwing the fullbacks forward. And credit to Afif and Ali, they're running the channels extremely well. And today they're finding outballs.
It's been quite gung-ho from Senegal, and I'm just looking at the stats. I mean, almost happy. The last 15-20 minutes of this game, 42% of the action has been in the Qatari final third. So it's half the game in the final third, which shows how high up the pitch that Senegal are being. And I guess from our neutral point of view, it makes it exciting because when a team plays that high up the pitch, it doesn't matter who you are, there is a huge chance of being exploited on the counter-attack.
It's funny, isn't it? Me and yourself come into games and we wonder how it's going to pan out. And we looked at this game and we thought, this could be a heavy scoreline. It hasn't been that type of game. It's been completely the opposite of what we expected. I've really enjoyed it so far.
Some of the games have been a flurry of goals, but there's been a lot of nil-nils, isn't there? Koulibaly plays it
You said it, you said it the other day, we got a 0-0.
I'm trying to get the opposite effect. If I play it down, suddenly we'll get a thriller. Here's Idrissa Gana Gueye. Ball towards the edge of the penalty area, but good idea, isn't it?
The one thing I can say about this World Cup is that if one half is dead, very rarely is the second half dead.
He was waiting for the cavalry to arrive, and that was slow to come. And eventually, he's crowded out of it.
In the first half, if the first half is normally dead, the second half is normally better. But that's if one of the teams are very, very good. I don't think Senegal right now are very good.
Into this first half, you could see that
They should score. Come on,
he
man.
had no one around him, he had no help whatsoever. And we talk about fitness levels having a big say in games. They could have a say in this second half as well. You could see Senegal really running over the top of Qatar in the second half.
You're going to feel that penalty show is the big talking point of the game so far. And Afif, who's the star man for Qatar. You made the point about the Cristiano Ronaldo one. What else in that instant, the defender is stretching the ball and doesn't get it ahead of the attacker. But then he's stretching up forward and he catches Ronaldo. You compare to this, I don't think the defender is making that launch. I think it's coming from the attack. It's a small nuance, and you're saying consistency, but for me, that is a difference.
Yeah, I think Ismail Assar tries to jump around the player to sort of hook the ball with his leg, and then when he does that, he bundles his quad into his backside, and that's where the contact comes. The big thing being a former defender is the attacker always has control. If he gets his body in between the ball and the man, he's always in control. He always
Come on, he's on side. Come on, Senegal, come on.
I think he went down to it. Keep your feet and try and get a shot in. It's a side of goal, and Qatar had the best shot in the whole tournament on target. I'm really surprised he didn't just go for it. But that's the big moment in this game. 0-0. It remains. Senegal have got another free kick here and there. Attacking third. And Marshall, who still looks a little bit bandy-eyes, if that's fair. He came out of his penalty area. He tried to do a little drag back to bring the ball back into the box, and he actually lost it under his own stud. So he was fortunate one of his teammates was there and able to clear away. But he doesn't look altogether comfortable. This goalkeeper who's been thrust into the limelight, having replaced Al Shabu, who had a shocker in the opening game.
You're not turning around as a Qatar defender thinking, that's safe. I feel really comfortable with him behind me.
The day when goalkeepers have been in the headlines, and Wayne Hennessy, who made some brilliant saves for Wales, but was sent off. No real complaints about his challenge. It was particularly rash outside his penalty area that he had to see red for. Goalkeepers in the news. An opening game today in the World Cup. I think he's going to give
your
us
friends.
You jinxed that as well, didn't you? Because when you came into the room, you said, that's been a red card yet.
You know how that goes.
Give me the lottery numbers later as well. Here is Idrissa Gueye playing the ball forward for Senegal.
Hey, someone recently subscribed to the channel. Appreciate it. Can we get more subscriptions today? Could I hit even just 185? That's just 4 more subscribers before the end of this video. Can I get that? Subscribe to the channel, people, for that Chelsea content.
Both these sides lost 2-0 in their opening game. Still time
to get this group spun around in their favour and still time to progress. Cheers. Diatta, left hand side, leaning back as he plays a right.
Oh, come on! Senegal! Senegal! Let's go! Let's go! Scoreline, Senegal! Senegal, Senegal.
It's an instinctive strike from Dia as he runs onto the ball. It's just a poor error from Kuki. Ball comes into the striking out into the central area. He falls on his backside. The ball sticks under his feet. He then tries to have a swipe at it.
Let's go.
And Dia just runs
Come
onto it.
on,
It's a brilliant
come
strike.
on, come on.
Before he can even dive, it is clinical. Would you say it's deserved? I'm not so sure. Not so sure either. I think it's an error that has opened the door for Senegal. Kuki is an experienced player. This is his 105th cap, but he will play another 100 times and not make a mistake like that. That is schoolboy stuff. And at the World Cup level, you make an error like that inside your penalty area.
Senegal, Senegal.
The ball was laid on the plate.
Easy.
Good idea, reacted well to give Senegal the lead.
Come on.
It's clinical from Dia. It really is. It's instinctive as to where the ball's going to fall.
That good awareness.
Defender will miss it. But from Kuki's point of view, he had plenty aware.
George Weah's son playing for USA when he should be playing for Senegal.
T-shirt.
Winning that. He's going to get inspected up later.
Dia had his best game today, and he's taken his attention away from
Senegal. Hey, big up everyone in the live stream. Thank you for all the comments. Keith Lee, Drew, love for that. Appreciate everyone who has taken part in the poll as well. Right now, everyone that voted for Senegal, you guys are right. You guys are right now. Still. Hopefully, they can add another one. Hopefully.
They'd be furious with themselves. The mistake was made, and Dia has pounced. And Senegal have got their first goal, and they lead for the first time in a match at this World Cup. Yeah, it's been a well-balanced game. Both teams not really having too many opportunities, not really created too much, and then it's just taken a mistake at the back to incredible breakthrough in this game. Thank you. Into the penalty area when he hits it off his run just a fraction too early. He was offside. So I think I'm right in saying as well, Stephen, that this is now the first time an African nation has been in front in a game at this World Cup. It is, yeah, absolutely.
It is.
Because
Sunrise the best.
Portugal fell behind. They were the only team to score well in a game. In today's game, Senegal ahead. Listen to this game on the radio. Maybe you're in a car on the way home or into the office or something. Remember that if you're watching something on BBC television later on in the second half, you can go to the World Cup extra section of BBC iPlayer and you can choose to watch the pictures but listen to it with our 5 live commentary, and it's all perfectly synced together. You can do that for every game that is on BBC TV during the tournament. You can choose to have the radio commentary. Petro Miguel's been caught late. He's down holding his rib cage. Referee's come across to see what's some treatment, and he does. He's calling the physio on. It is Qatar 0, Senegal 1.
Big up Senegal.
Physical game so far. It hasn't been high in quality, but it's been a proper battle. Yeah, this is going to hurt Miguel. He goes up for a header, and it's his own player who actually collides with him. It's Ismail Mohammed who just knees him in the rib cage. I wouldn't be surprised if he broke a couple of ribs here, because that looks so painful. Really sore. We get this chance to watch the goal again. Good finish from Dia, but he would have been mortified if he hadn't scored from there after that
You've
opportunity.
been mortified having scored from there.
Close up on the monitors of Felix Sanchez, the Qatar coach. And for any listeners who don't know his story, he was a youth coach at Barcelona back in 2006. Qatar came and headhunted him and said, right, we're taking you. You know how to work with kids. Come build a team for us. And he came
to Qatar. And I don't think the original idea was for him to end up as the head coach as we move into stoppages, which is, I mean, we don't even raise our eyebrow anymore. 7 minutes to be added on. His stoppages the break. That's the way it's been this World Cup as Koulibaly holds his ground on the edge of his penalty area and cleared away. But Sanchez came in. He's working with the kids that do well, the under-17s, the under-20s. He takes charge of the under-23s. With most of these guys playing in it as a figure. Just some dazzling footwork to hold on to possession, but at the end he's got to retreat back towards the halfway line. He ended up coming in. He was the 8th coach in 6 years into the team for the
Senegal.
the Asian Cup. And he won that tournament. I think when he won that tournament,
7 minutes at a time.
As the senior coach.
Oh, these long stoppages.
He's given the last 15 years of his life towards this. And I'm not sure it's working out the way he would have wanted. A 2-0 defeat in the opening game. Qatar 1-0 down here as Senegal go looking for a second before the break. Diatta breaking in on the left-hand side. Kuki, the man who mistake opened the door for the opening goal, clears away, but Qatar can't hold on to it. And Koulibaly plays it back to his Chelsea teammate, Edouard Mendy.
Yeah, he will be frustrated because he would have felt his team were in the game, and they certainly were, but that faith from Kuki was allowed good idea to score the opening goal of the game. Before that, they were thinking, oh, that's late.
So we're going to go home and do one.
My grandma's late for dinner.
It's a balancing high wire act for Qatar here.
It's actually left some money in
They've got to give everything. But they can't risk going down to 10 men. I mean, they're finding it difficult to look with 11. And that is now.
Oh, it's your day, man.
Yeah, we said we wanted them to be more physical, we wanted them to be more aggressive, but there's certain ways of doing it. It's very, very late for them.
Geek you up, man.
I know.
I'll show you later if anything, innit? Come on, man. Go safe.
Good news to the wingers of Senegal, Edouard and Diatta. Free kick could be taken by Koulibaly inside the Senegal half. Good played. A couple of minutes of the 7 being added on for stoppages. It was headed out of play by Abdul Hassan. Throwing much further up the field now for Senegal midway inside the Qatar half. But it's given away. Ahmed clears it up over the top where Akram the people sprint onto it, but comfortably beat to the ball by Abdi Diallo, who shows a lot of composure to dribble around his opponent and give it to Idrissa Gueye in the midfield, who, as we know, is very safe in possession. He rarely gives it away. That's a great ball down the right channel, and getting there first is his one Assar, but his cross is too close to the goalkeeper. And Michel makes the save.
Assar was called after the cross came in from Ahmed, who's just been booked. He's got to be so careful. See that play down the wings from Senegal. Qatar playing a 3-5-2 system. It will always leave gaps in behind outside to
maybe come forward. Controls it just outside the penalty area, left hand side. 2 defenders in front of it. Makes a burst towards the byline, sends it in low, and Koulibaly doesn't take any chances. There's no opponent behind him, but he side puts it out for a corner anyway. It's a corner for Qatar. I think it's their first corner, Stephen. It has come 49 minutes into the game. Can they make this count?
Well, you look at the size difference and you think it'd be comfortable for Senegal to deal with set pieces. Will they try something different, or will they just look to try and find the centre backs?
Plays it in, right footed, in the swinger, easily headed away. Big Jeju, who was back helping out the defence. There wasn't even the Qatari player challenging for that. And that is the frustration. As you mentioned, the physical difference in terms of...
Appreciate the views, everyone. Appreciate it.
It is always going to be likely that a Senegal player will be able to do away. Now, I'm hearing that many fans are making their way towards the exits. I just wonder, might that be looking for half-time refreshments rather than actually going over to it? You would hope that it's going to be the first, but a lot of talk about Qatar fans not being happy to stick around if things aren't going well for their team. We certainly saw that against Ecuador. Many are making
Qatar fans are due to leave the stadium, fam. They can't see they might even get to see their team score a goal in this World Cup, let alone get a win, fam.
So far, you look at it, it's competitive. So why would you be looking to leave this game? Almost played by Ahmed. That's a good crossfield pass, and he's picked out Ismail Mohammed on the right-hand side with the yellow boots. He gets to the outside of the group, into the penalty area. Ali sprints after it, but Edouard Mendy anticipated all of that and comes out and bravely dives at the feet of the striker. Just a fraction off there from Mohammed, just getting the ball into Ali. Really intelligent run. He just drops his shoulder, gets in behind Diallo. Just on that update, the Qatar fans. Shamoon Hafiz of BBC Sports, who's inside the stadium, he said plenty of fans heading towards the exits, but it might be that they're going for Maghrib prayers. They might be coming back in, so we'll keep an eye on that. But with half-time approaching, 1-0 down, Qatar would appear to add it all to 2. Sabali brings it back to Koulibaly, and a long ball down the field is intercepted by Koulibaly. He's the player who just joining a coverage here on 5 Live or BBC Sounds or the BBC World Service across Africa. His mistake presented the opportunity for Senegal to take the lead. The goal scored from close range by Edouard. A thief gives the ball away again, and it's just not happening for Qatar. No, it's not.
A thief gives the ball away again.
Situation with Koulibaly, and what I liked about it, even though he's lost the ball, he hasn't looked and thought to Koulibaly, I'll turn back, I'll play safe. He's tried to run him. He's tried to take him on, which is positive. Mistakes from Qatar. Again, the coach, Felix Sanchez, said his team were nervous in their opening game. Culture it's the nerves as much. They're trying here. They exuded an air of confidence in the opening stages, but the quality is shining through. It won't be the Asian champions against the African champions, but you look at the clubs that these Senegal players play for around Europe, big teams, the quality is shining through at the moment as Segay helps it on to Dia into the penalty area right-hand side as Senegal come forward. Ismail Sarr back to Dia once again. That's not a good pass.
No, no, it's worth, man.
Mendy, but it's picked up by
Half time.
and he plays it towards the edge
Half
of the penalty
time.
area. And the time is up, and after 7 minutes of stoppages, at the end of the break, the teams will make their way towards the changing rooms for half-time. So, a big penalty shout for Akram, a thief that wasn't given. A big defensive howler for Koulibaly, and it's kept on nil. Senegal 1-0. Yeah.
Half time in the place.
A big relief to get that goal just before half time because it was, there weren't too many chances prior to that.
No, they didn't manage to create chances, but they used
Half time.
this mistake and
1-0 Senegal, I mean. Appreciate the views. Can we get 10 likes? Like the video. Like the video. Like the video.
Yes, but at the same time, they need to be careful because this team from Qatar is trying to create some chances, and we never know.
What do you make of
They showed little glimpses here and there.
each player that's got something about him?
I think they've got. He spent time in Europe playing football. He looks like that player who has that one little bit of magic, maybe. So if anything comes from Qatar, it's going to come through him. But they've got to show a bit more belief. Even the set piece at the end, throw bodies forward. You can't lose anything here.
Especially in the second half, they've got to try and get something out of this.
Yeah, you can clearly see what they've worked on the last couple of days, being more defensively organised. But it's when they get possession, that's when they don't really know what to do with it, and they're working off the cuff and hoping a thief does something.
Just a bit of a lack of ability in most parts of the pitch, I suppose. We did get a goal. Deal with that finish, a mistake there, wasn't it, from Kuki?
Yeah, that's the only way that it seemed like there was going to be a goal today in that sense, capitalising on a hard defensive bit of play there. But it's a decent finish once he gets in there. Ball gets speculative, ball that comes in there. The defender's got to move his feet, shuffle your feet to get in so you can get a clean contact on it. He doesn't. I don't know why he's even on the floor kicking that ball because he's standing. All he has to do is clear the ball to the inside of his foot. But once it's there, it's a good finish, no? Yeah, it's a good finish. I mean, if you try to score on the keeper's left side, that maybe would have missed it. So it's the right angle to put the ball.
A little bit with the eyes there, I think, a little bit disguised, possibly. Quite interesting, Boulaye Dia who scored that goal. He had a trial, would you believe, at Airbus, in the Welsh League in 2016, and they didn't take him on. He was on the next flight home.
The recruitment team.
Just got back to that too, like,
Extraordinary. They haven't had a shot on target in this tournament yet. 148 minutes, Qatar. But should they have had a penalty? VAR looked at it and decided there wasn't enough in it, or did a thief try to steal a penalty?
I think it was a pen. I shouted straight away. I thought it was a pen. There wasn't much agreement in the studio, but I think he's clumsy there from the start. I think he's trying to get back and make an impact on the situation. And I just thought he doesn't. The moment he goes in and makes a challenge, gives it the right to
the right leg go across.
I think he saw that it was going to be difficult for him to score the goal from this angle, so he went for the foul. When you see his right leg going this way, you can tell that he was trying to.
I think if the referee had given the decision, I don't think VAR would have turned it over though. It's one of those, wasn't it? Whatever the referee on the pitch went for, they'd have stuck with him. What do you think, right or wrong?
well, we were splitting here, but I think we agreed that he was kind of looking for it.
Oh, did you? If that was you in that position, you want a penalty. If that was you.
He would be still.
If that was me, I would have touched the ball with my left foot to get inside a bit more. Then it could have been a penalty.
But it's what strikers do. If you know you feel someone behind you, do go try cut across them though, don't you? Because you either get away or they have to foul you.
They always teach you to be between the player and the ball.
Yeah.
So you have all the advantages.
Yeah, exactly. Qatar had made it pretty difficult for Senegal until that goal, of course, when they gifted the goal.
Yeah.
What were they doing tactically?
Yeah, like I said, you can really see what they've worked on. Basically being compact and thinking you are not going to split us open like we were in the first game. You're not going to be able to come through us. What you are going to have to do to break us down today is go round us. And you can see everyone is in part of the game plan. If the ball goes wide, you can see two Qatar players right here going, no, you're not going to get even behind us. What we are going to do, you're going to have to play it back and then come out round the other side. And they have done that job really well till that last moment when they scored the goal. And they've continued to do it. And everyone working, as we see again, try to force them to play out wide. Pookie directing play right there, and away it goes. And that's where they're thinking, if Afif gets on the ball, he can do something. But Didier, you weren't happy with Senegal and their movement.
Yeah, when you look at the starting 11 and the system they were supposed to play, 4-2-3-1. But you see there's a 4-2-4. So all the attacking players are on the same line, and there's no interaction with the midfielders. There's no overlap on the side. So it's very difficult to create chances like this.
You need that player to come in the hole and just to be the link. And they haven't found that man yet. That's where maybe Sadio Mane, they're missing him.
Yeah, definitely. Any team will miss him, wouldn't they? A reminder that there's a whole host of football-related programmes to keep you entertained on the iPad.
Watch the stories behind football success.
You need to give your all. It's the beginning of something big and better and greater.
Can't even put it into words. I believe it's a wonderful football.
It fills me with joy. No one is letting me on it.
Captivating football documentaries on BBC iPlayer.
And as well as those, you can catch Green Lions, Cameroon 90 on the iPlayer. What a great side they were, I can tell you. The World Cup Daily is your one-stop shop for all the latest news from Qatar.
Appreciate the views and the likes, people.
England, USA.
Half time right now, Senegal 1-0 up. If they win, gives them a step closer, takes them a step closer to getting towards the knockout rounds.
2 matches in the FA Cup second round.
This is what the FA Cup is all about.
Minutes ago, look at all that lead. Scoring! That's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And a goal! How about this? For the wicket! That is sensational!
The FA Cup second round kicks off with Kingsley Town v Stevenage live tomorrow, 12:30 on BBC One and iPlayer.
2 years ago today, we lost Diego Armando Maradona, arguably the greatest footballer of all time.
A beaver with a dirty face, a man of hair rebelling against the god, with intelligent rolling, trickster and persuasive ace, and a sparkling gaze that seems to hint at picarous bluff. His trousers are a few roughly sewn patches. His vest with Argentinian stripes with a very long neck. His knees covered with scabs of wounds, disinfected by fate. Barefoot or with shoes, whose holes in the toes suggest they have been made through too much shooting. His stance must be characteristic. It must seem as if he is dribbling with a rag ball. That is important. If this monument is raised one day, we must take our hat off to it, like we do in church.
Now it sounds like he's describing a statue of Diego Maradona, but that was actually written in 1928 by Boacato, who was the Uruguayan editor of El Gráfico, the great Argentinian sports magazine. 49 years before Maradona makes his international debut, you have a description that sets out the characteristics of the ideal Argentinian player. So Maradona arrives with this force of prophecy. This isn't just key to Argentinian football, it's key to Argentina itself. When Argentina is defining itself as a nation, one of the few unifying activities is listening to the radio. And the two things we listen to are broadcasts from tango halls and commentaries of football matches. So football is this really unifying force. Argentina gains independence from Spain in 1816, and the British become increasingly involved. They run the banking, they have a lot of interest in export of beef. But when the British begin to pull out at the beginning of the 20th century, there's this huge question, what is it to be Argentinian, this new nation? And so Leopoldo Lugones, who's a national poet, in 1913, he gives a series of lectures where he addresses this very specific question. And he concludes that the true spirit of the Argentinian is to be found in the gaucho. They were politically very important during the Argentinian Civil War. They had a huge part to play. They have this great virtuosity. They're very tough, very brave. And they're wiped out by the British. There's a great synergy between the Argentinian soul and this gaucho spirit. And El Gráfico says, well, actually, the spirit of the gaucho we find in the pibe, in the urchin, the street kid. As the city grows, you get what are called in South America potreros, the vacant lots. And it turns out this is the ideal area for kids to learn how to play football, to become very, very good at football. The British schools, you have these huge grassy pitches. It's all about running, it's all about stamina. Potreros, these small, compact areas, often very uneven surfaces. The games might be 20-a-side. There's no teacher there to blow the whistle if things get rough. You have to be not merely technically very accomplished, but you also got to be tough. The coverall term for this is bibesa. And you see that absolutely in the gaucho. You see it also in Maradona. You think of his greatest game against England in the quarter-final for World Cup in 1986. It's against England, but also those two goals in that game encompass the two aspects of bibesa. The cunning of the first goal and the virtuosity of the second.
Maradona turns like a little eel and comes away from trouble. Little squat man comes inside Budger, leaves him for dead. Outside Bennett leaves him for dead. And puts the ball on
The word for that dribble is gambetta, which comes from the gaucho word gambetar, which describes the running motion of an ostrich. If you're creating a narrative, you want disaster as well as the triumph. And Maradona had that. You know, he had the drug bans, he had the arrests, he had the injuries, he had the hepatitis, and he wins the World Cup.
Greatest player receives the world's most important football prize.
It's not Argentina's first World Cup, but in a sense it feels like the first one. And doing the way he did it, that's untouchable.
What an unbelievable player Diego Maradona was. I was blessed to play in the same era. In some ways it's been blessed, but in another way it was so difficult. It was an era of Zico, Platini, of Rummenigge, of Butragueño, of Hoddle, of Gareca. And then you had this player that wasn't just better than them, he was significantly better than them. He was extraordinary.
He kind of was one of the people that made up my childhood in terms of going out in the school playground on the estate and trying to replicate what he does. No one can do it, but you go out there and you try and do stuff that he was the first person that I tried to replicate and try to be like as a young kid. Never got near it, never got anywhere near it. I don't go near it, but he made you dream.
Yeah. What's the football? No, it's exactly the same thing. My first shirt, my first football shirt was number 10 for Maradona. And I was trying to play with my left foot like Diego, thinking I was Diego Maradona. And, I mean, this helped me to score goals with my left foot. No,
Steve Rogers' shirt was number 10 Maradona. He got £7 million for it. Amazing when he swapped it in that game. You played with him, wasn't it?
I did, I love it when people talk about Maradona Arkenstein. I actually played on the same team, a FIFA Legends game, and he was the captain. And I remember it was 2018, I was still just coming off retiring, used to playing balls, just, run into the space. He turns to me, Alex, play to my feet. I never did it again, Gary. Always played to his feet.
What do you think at that age you could run?
What he did, I have a picture actually, he scored an amazing goal that game, and just celebrating with him.
Argentina, of course, lost their opening match against Saudi Arabia. If you want to know how that happened, this is Elena, half-time team talk for the Saudi team.
Oh, what are we doing here? This is a pressing. Messi, at the middle of the pitch, he has the ball, you stay in front of the defense. كرة مع ميسي انت قاعد Koulibaly بيروح تماركي in the middle اللاعب يخرج يروح يغطيه ويضغط عليه. Take your phone, you can make a picture with him if you want. You're in front of the defense. You have no money. He's going to follow. You don't feel we are able to come back? You don't feel it? Take time, relax. Come on, guys. Come on. This is a World Cup. Give everything.
Fabulous stuff. You know him a bit, don't you?
I know Hervé is a really good coach. He's a great motivator. As you see, he was sitting with the players, first of all, before going on to his pitch. So he's really close to them. That's why he can talk to them like that.
Brilliant stuff. I love that. It's great that we're getting a little bit of this insight into the dressing rooms in this World Cup. Really positive addition, I think.
It really is. You can see what motivates the players, and like you said, he can do that because he's got them all on side. They're not thinking, they're listening to him, and we saw what the performance.
I wonder what they're saying in the dressing rooms. Well, not now, but a little bit earlier. We've had one shot on target. No shots on target yet from Qatar in this tournament. But most of the games, lots of them have exploded in the second half. Let's hope this one does too.
So let's hope it does, because what we see in the first half is not enough from both teams, actually. We expect Senegal to score more, to be more creative, and Qatar to score maybe one goal.
Yeah, they need at least one goal this tournament shortly. Time to rejoin Dion Dublin and Jonathan Smith.
They were presented a gift of a goal in the first half. They're quite grateful that did happen. I think in a parallel university, when that mistake doesn't happen, it's 0-0 here, and Senegal will be sweating a little bit because they've got the goal advantage. Their body language, and we could see close up in the tunnel as the players came out. We get back underway here for the second half, but much more confident air about the Senegalese players as they came out for this second half. No changes, by the way.
No, I just second half has started.
They would have been honest with the players and said, you're very lucky to be coming in at 1-0 because it hasn't been good enough, and expect a better performance in the second half. It'd be interesting to hear his take on things.
So, Qatar 0, Senegal 1. Qatar up against it now. They need to deliver here, or their World Cup participation in terms of a competitive nature might be coming to an end today. Otherwise, Ali unable to hold the ball up in the left channel. He was the top scorer of the Asian Cup. He got 9 goals in that tournament. That's a record, all-time record in that tournament. No one had ever scored 9 goals at an Asian Cup finals, but he's hardly had a sniff at this World Cup so far. Give you a reminder of the teams in just a minute. Qatar have possession. Debo back to the heart of defence to Cookie, the guy who slipped. The penalty. He's right-footed ball over to the near touchline. Ismail Mohammed has touched up to his full height to try and keep the ball in play. Actually goes out to the building a Senegal throw left-hand side. So Qatar with Michel Barsha promoted to the team. New goalkeeper for this game. He's not looked very steady. We've got 3 central defenders. Pedro Miguel, who played right wing back in the opener against Ecuador, is slotted in alongside Kuki and Hassan. Ahmed and Ismail Mohammed are the 2 wing backs. Both those players were booked in the first half and are carrying yellow cards. 3 in the middle of the midfield. The captain, Hassan Al-Helus, 170th cap for him. Karim Boudia, 117 caps. There's a lot of international experience, but not at this level for Qatar. Mendy was the other who came into the team today. Then before to Al-Ghazali. Who thought he might have had a penalty of his own. The referee and the VAR all said no. The Senegal team, Edouard, Mendy, the Chelsea goalkeeper, back four, Sabali at the right, Koulibaly and Diallo in the middle, Jacobs, who's come into the team, the Monaco left back, two central holding midfielders in Alice Mendy and Trezeguet, who both play in the Premier League, Ismail Sarr's on the right, Crepin Diat on the left, Famara Jeju, who only had 7 touches of the ball in the first half, he's in the number 10 role behind the goal scorer, Koulibaly, Diat. Qatar 0, Senegal 1, 5 live on BBC Sounds and across Africa on the BBC World Service. Senegal have got themselves.
Second half has started. Come on, Senegal! Come on, Senegal!
Everyone else is inside the box, and even now Afifa's coming back to the edge of the tee as well. Corner is going to be taken by Jacobs, the left back. Running up with those yellow boots it is.
2-0! 2-0! 2-0! 2-0 game done.
2-0 down in the second game as well. The corner played in by Jacobs. An expert header by Jeju. And it's Qatar 0, Senegal 2. Well, it's a great ball in, but it's made even better by the run from Jeju. He just
What a header.
the near post and flicks it into the far corner. Leaves Barsham helpless. And it's been a terrible start to the second half for Qatar to fall behind, or fall another goal behind so early on in this second half. A great run from Jeju. Really good instinctive header. The former Bristol City player, he was a real favourite with the fans during his time there. 51 goals he scored for Bristol City. And now he's a World Cup goal scorer. He just wanted that more. He attacks the front post. There's 3 other near statuesque defenders.
Senegal, Senegal. Aye, big them up. They're gonna go. As long as they don't lose their next game, they'll go through.
And he's picked up Jeju, and then he runs just into the front post area, and it's Ali who loses him. He just doesn't want to put his head on the ball. He's too soft, and we said before, we were speaking in the first half about them being weak physically. They were weak physically there. It was far too easy from Jeju. Jacobs, corner delivery was good, but the Qatar defence didn't move, and Jeju was in his first World Cup goal. So a 2-goal advantage for the African Cup of Nation holders. Senegal's World Cup after a rocky start in a difficult opener against the Netherlands. Looks a lot more serious now. They may not have Sadio Mane, but they've got 2 goals here, and it's very difficult, Stephen, and we all want a bit of jeopardy, and we all want a bit of drama, but it's very difficult to make the case for Qatar to get back into this now. Yeah, well, you just thought, come out in the second half and make sure that you're organised, you're competing as much as you can, try and be confident going into the second half, because Senegal hadn't been brilliant in that first half, but to concede so early on, it just throws the game plan completely out the window. And you spoke about people leaving the ground just before half time. Will we now start
Come on, Senegal.
Because they'll be bitterly disappointed. Plenty evidence of empty plastic seats around the city, particularly around what you would call the sort of corporate seats. And to be fair, they might be enjoying some fine dining from the end of midfield, so those seats would fill up. But elsewhere around there are a spattering of empty seats, as there have been from kick-off. And we said in the first half, that is unusual. Not to have empty seats at the crew game, but for the hosts, which are normally like gold dust. Here's a chance, ball played in, but Abdul Karim Hassan at full stretch couldn't get it. He's holding his upper thigh as he veers away. It was a free kick played in by Afi, and he might have been offside anyway, but Hassan might have done better, couldn't get his header on target. I think he should do better. He is offside, but even still, he doesn't know that. He should at least get the header on target. He just pulls up the back of Koulibaly, who holds a good line. Wouldn't have counted, but he didn't know that. 2-0 to Senegal. Jacobs who claimed the assist. No assist really for the opener because it was the defensive hammer off Cookie. Jacobs will have enjoyed that as Koulibaly passes to his right hand side to Sabali. Up into the Qatar half, trying to find the goal scorer of Jeju, but it's one back. Position in midfield for Qatar and Kalidou. He gives it back to Hassan behind him, and now Looking through Miguel, a Portuguese-born player on the right-hand side. Ismail Mohammed moves it into Ali Ali, and Mohammed was caught late. It's going to be a free kick to Qatar, and it's also another yellow card for Senegal, and it's a costly one. And Idrissa Gana Gueye of Everton will miss the final group match against Ecuador. That is back-to-back yellow cards for Idrissa Gana. He will now trigger a suspension. Is that right? Sorry, no, the camera zoomed in on Idrissa Gana. Maybe he wasn't the player booked, so apologies if I've got that wrong. But we'll confirm that in just a moment. It might have been Jacobs' apologies who picked up the yellow card.
Yeah, I think it possibly was Jacobs. It was either him
Big
or
up
Diatta,
Senegal.
but it looks like it's Jacobs. That's the confirmation that we've just got on our screen. So, yeah, Jacobs wasn't much in it. He just turns and as he goes to run back, he puts his arm up to sprint away. He does catch the Qatari player, but I don't think it warranted the yellow card, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, so just to confirm, Ishmael Jacobs booked, not to Idrissa Gana. Apologies for that bad steer. Who's just following the images in front of us here as Senegal give away possession midway inside the Qatar half. J2 can't hold on to it. Ulalem Kuki comes up to the halfway line. He's got Boudiaf on his left-hand side. Boudiaf has a look up. It's a bit frustrated. Doesn't see an obvious target to send a pass to. He's tried a very ambitious crossfield ball here. Ismail Mohammed was his target. Leaping across was Diallo to win it comfortably, and Senegal regained possession once again. Idrissa Gana Gueye up to the halfway line.
Idrissa Gana Gueye.
Left-hand side is Crepin Diatta of Monaco. Back into Idrissa Gana once again. Now Natalis Mendy. Senegal shuffling it around with a little bit more pace now. Just taking one or two touches. Idrissa Gana forward to Dia, the goal scorer. That's a bad pass. He's given away possession to Ali Moez Ali. And now Qatar have it once again. The captain, Kalidou, running into Senegal territory. 4-4 if he can keep up the pace here. Gives it to the right-hand side. Mohammed goes down. Caught by Jacobs, who's just been booked. Kalidou is shouting in the referee's face, and the Spanish official doesn't like that. He's blown the whistle, but he's waving his arms to the referee. So what is he intimating here? He's given the free kick, but I think he's saying no further punishment required.
Needs to be careful, Jacobs, because he's just been booked, and then all of a sudden he dives in. He does catch the Qatari player, Ismail Mohammed, scampers down the right-hand side, and it should have been a yellow card. The referee's been very lenient. Asked questions by the Qatari players. It's a dangerous position for Qatar now to put a good ball into the box.
Appreciate the views and the likes, people.
Participation in this World Cup is dangling by a thread. Can they make this an exciting second half? Koulibaly stands over the free kick, 10 yards from the byline. It's a crossing position. Can he pick up one of his teammates in the middle? It's locked it in. There's a lead that comes back up to the defender. Chance for Hassan, who might have scored, but he couldn't find a way through in a busy 6-yard box. Sheer weight of numbers have saved Senegal there as a feed from the halfway line plays it all the way back to Marshall, whose first touch is dreadful, and he just about holds on to it, and oh, they are absolutely dangling on a thread now. By the way, tomorrow 5 Live Breakfast, Rick will be joined by Peter Schmeichel in suit. You can listen to that from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning on 5 Live. 10 minutes played in the second half. Qatar 0, Senegal 2, but that, Stephen, was probably the best chance that Senegal have had of getting a goal back.
Yeah, they just haven't had that composure when opportunities have fallen to them.
Big up Senegal. Love the comment, man, bro.
As it came in, the ball drops at his feet, and he just lashes it. It actually ricochets off his own player. Moez Ali gets in the way of it, and it probably would have gone past Mendy as well.
That could have been a way back into the game, a way back into the World Cup for the host Qatar. Very unfortunate. Abdul Karim, who's got 15 international goals in the past. He's a central defender, but he's popped up over the years. He scored against Portugal, actually, last year when Qatar played as a member of that UEFA European qualifying group. If people don't remember that, they were put into the group to get experience. They did the same thing in the Copa America. They were in a group, but the games that they were in, the points didn't count towards the table. So it was effectively a group without one team. But it just was there to give them a bit of experience. They played against Serbia, they played against Portugal, they played against the Republic of Ireland. And Hassan scored against Portugal. He nearly scored a historic goal for Qatar there. But down the other end, here is Jeju into the penalty area. Good defending from Hassan again. And it's cleared away by Kuki. But Qatar could have done with a break there. And, well, it just wouldn't roll their way. Here's a feed. Such a circle. Two teammates to his left-hand side. Breaking with a bit of pace now. He wants to roll it in front of Al-Hadous, but the pass didn't have enough weight on it. And it's cleared away, and it's Jeju who comes away with possession for
And big up everyone in the live stream. Leave a like or a comment or vote on the poll. Who will win, Senegal or Qatar? Right now it's looking like Senegal still.
Really well by Diallo, who stops the attack from Qatar. There are signs that they can get on the ball and they can cause Senegal problems.
An attempt from Hassan blocked by his own teammate. That is the only attempted goal that Qatar have had in the last 30 minutes of game time, stretching back into the first half. 3 attempts in the game, none of them ultimately getting through to be on target yet. Senegal on their way potentially to their first win of this World Cup, first African win of the tournament.
They're definitely getting that. They're not doing that. It's too good. Come on, let's get a clean sheet for Koulibaly and Edouard Mendy, though. Come on, man. You know, like Koulibaly and Edouard Mendy, big them up. We need every single Chelsea player to go through to the next round. And after losing the last game to Netherlands, they would have lost today, would have been long. But that's not the case. Can't wait for later though. England versus USA. Boy, oh boy. It's going to be interesting match. Interesting match.
Played as a striker, played pretty much a 4-4-2 Senegal in this game. Just wonder going into the Ecuador game, would that leave them too light in midfield? Interesting to see how they line up.
I'm really struggling to make an impact inside their opponent's half. Here's their latest effort, but Ismail Mohammed doesn't control it. With regret, the hopes. They came into this as massive underdogs. They are by far the smallest country ever to host a World Cup. They've never qualified for a World Cup before. It's been such a steep learning curve for them, and everyone gets a second chance, does it? You're Lionel Messi in Argentina, you can lose one, you can still come back, but you don't necessarily get two. And if this stays like this, depending on the result, as long as the Netherlands don't lose later on against Ecuador, Qatar could be out regardless of what they do in their final game. All played forward by Hassan, not a bad pass. Picks out Boudiaf. Is there a bit of fighting spirit in this Qatari team? Pedro Miguel to the right-hand side to Ismail Mohammed. They were nearly up level at the edge of the penalty area there, but forced back. Qatar holding on to position, but back at the halfway line now. The Debo, the little 5'6" midfield player, hustling for it up against Idrissa Gueye. And Idrissa Gueye is very worldly wise. He knows what to do in those situations. He wins the ball for his team. It's an awkward bounce ahead of
Damn, I can't lie, the man's hungry. After this, man definitely needs to eat some food. Some food, I need that.
To the left-hand side to Homo Ahmed, who's on a yellow card. He's now sporting a sort of Qatari maroon-coloured bandage on that wrist that he hurt in the first half. Hassan comes forward, back out to Ahmed on the left-hand side. No cross into the middle. In truth, wasn't very good. Koulibaly is able to clear away. They're trying Qatar, but they just don't have the quality at the moment. The throw-in is taken. Hassan, he's miles out, but he shoots! And it flashes in front of Edouard Mendy, and it's wide. Well, he bought the lottery ticket.
Man had that under control.
Nearly came off. Talk about putting the laces through it. That's not very far away from being a
that was going wide though. Obviously, it's a good shot. Pick them up for taking it. But that one going in.
It was a lovely strike from Hassan on his weaker right foot. Just as he's about to strike it, it bobbles up just perfectly for him to hit. He strikes right through the centre of the ball, and he had Mendy at full stretch going to his left-hand side. Mendy, you could see on his face as it went past the post. He's just looking, thinking, please be going past the post because I'm getting nowhere near this.
That's the biggest scare for Chelsea goalkeeper Edouard Mendy in this game so far.
Appreciate the views, everyone. Like the video. or leave, or
Here comes
that's
Kalidou
enough.
down the left-hand side, the captain.
I need to leave this into the comments, man.
Makes himself available. Running at the penalty area now down the left-hand side. Tries to break
Hello,
the field with two defenders. And Koulibaly did well. No margin for error there inside the penalty area, but he didn't make a foul. And a thief was locked up possession. And now Senegal will break into the opponent's half. But Diaz passes forward. There's been an improvement from Qatar. I mean, they've such a long way to go, but we're seeing a little bit more than the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, they're playing with intent now. They're trying to pass between the lines and they're getting players in good positions. And a thief who's on the ball now is in another good position.
Here it comes, a thief coming in off the left-hand side.
Good save. Decent save, Mendy. Good save for Mendy, still.
It's the best we've seen of them in the tournament. The shot was heading for the bottom corner, and Mendy had to stretch to get down there.
Good save from Edouard, Mendy. Pick him up.
That's the best we've seen as the corner comes in.
It was, I think, if he tried to beat the defender at the front post, trying to curl it in, but it's cleared out for another corner. Qatar 0, Senegal 2, but Qatar have suddenly woke up and found a bit of form.
Really good
You
save
know,
from Mendy from Ali. He just
half an hour left.
Frame to get down to the bottom right-hand corner, push it around the post.
He takes the latest corner, he's rolled it back to Ahmed. That's a poor volley, but it's not been dealt with. Defensive mistake by Senegal. Here is Pedro Mikel. Left-footed shot is miles wide. He went for it. He saw his name in lights on his weaker left foot. Right-sided defender.
Remember to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Facebook for Chelsea content.
Yeah, wrong choice from him. He shouldn't have took it inside on his left foot. He should have passed it. There was players either side of him to find. We're just seeing a replay of the save from Mendy. It's a brilliant save. It really is. It brought out the very best of him. Down to his bottom right. Ali, he didn't try and put his laces through it. He just tried to side foot it into the bottom left-hand corner. Credit for the goalkeeper who is equal to the challenge.
Senegal are making a change here. Always Ali.
Man, the answer's coming up. So you're not.
I'm sure you all will have seen the Richarlison second goal last night, but Aldo Azali scored a goal just like that a few years back against Japan. He sort of teed it up for himself and then hit it on the scissors bicycle kick. That could have been his moment to give Qatar some consolation at least. They haven't scored in their own World Cup. They are staring back-to-back defeats in the face here. As change has been made now from Senegal, and they brought on Ante Cis, who plays in Spain with Rayo Vallecano. He's only the 4th Rayo Vallecano player ever to be selected for a World Cup squad. He's come on now. Senegal, look for the 3rd goal that might really put this game to bed. They've been comfortable up until the last 5 or 6 minutes when suddenly Qatar have sprung into life and have had 3 chances in very quick succession, but they haven't been able to score. Here comes Koulibaly down the right-hand side for Senegal, wearing all white with the green and yellow and red trim. As Ismaila Sarr holds it up. Koulibaly involved to get inside the penalty area. Nice little back heel. Ismaila Sarr's delivery here. Cookie gets up and makes a defensive header, and Qatar are able to clear the ball away. Stephen Warner.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure now from Senegal, who answered back because they realised Qatar have upped the game. Started injecting a little bit more pace into their attacks. Will Qatar be able to sustain those attacks? They're on the break again.
Diab to ball away is the player who went off to allow Ante Cis to come on. Cis is in experience internationally. This is his second cap on the attack here for Qatar. Tries to play the keys captain out of loose, but it was intercepted. Good work in the midfield by Jeju, back helping out the defence. Senegal try to attack down the other end of the ball, goes out for a throw in. It remains Qatar 0, Senegal 2. The live football continues in 5-5 throughout the day and the evening. Netherlands against Ecuador is next. That is in just over 90 minutes from now. And tonight, a 7 o'clock start, England against the USA. John Murray and Green with the opening 2 games of this World Cup. Because only 3 times in the past, England have got a World Cup with back-to-back victories.
Oh, sorry about that, people. Sorry about that.
Pulls it back. Kalidou has a look up. That's another delivery. Brilliant save from Cisse. Ismail Mohammed didn't quite catch it as he
What a save from Edouard Mendy.
from close range.
Replay it, fam.
The only thing you can say is incredible from Mendy to push it round the corner and the crowd react to it. They're on the feet.
Here comes the corner for Qatar. Played it towards Hassan, but he's beaten in the air by Koulibaly.
What a save from Edouard Mendy, fam.
And it'll be another corner. The last 10 minutes, Qatar have suddenly found something in them, and they are really asking questions of Senegal. But is it
Big
too
up
little too
Edouard
late?
Mendy, yes.
We'll find out, won't we? But what a save from Mendy from Ismail Mohammed. Mohammed just finds himself at the back post. He runs in. It just hits his knee. He doesn't really connect too well with it, but it bounces just in front of Mendy, and he pushes it round the post with his right hand. It's an incredible save.
It's a super save from Mendy. You actually have to feel sorry for Qatar there, though. They've had so many close chances now. Here comes the delivery. Played it low towards the front post. Diaz back there, and he heads away. And the loose ball is picked up by Ismail Mohammed. It's all Qatar at the moment. Right-footed ball into the penalty area. Koulibaly jumps, wins the header, and puts it up for a throw into Qatar attacking position down the left-hand side. It came awkwardly off his knee. He was sort of jumping for a header, and then suddenly ended up too low. He's done well, Ismail Mohammed, to get anything on target, and even with the save of the goalkeeper, it's still nearly snuck
Great
into
save
the
from
corner,
Edouard Mendy.
and Senegal
Big him up.
rightly relieved to see it go out for the corner kick.
I thought it was in. I really did. I was out my seat. I thought, here we go. They've got back into the game. But when you see the save again, it's just phenomenal because he reads, he anticipates where it might fall, Mendy.
Man,
It's a quite brilliant save.
Edouard Mendy.
Once before, a host nation failed to advance for the opening phase of a World Cup. That was South Africa 12 years ago, but it is looking a distinct possibility now. Qatar made a substitution here now as well, activity down in the technical area as they try a final throw of the dice. Felix Sanchez, who must be wishing his team had begun this World Cup the way they played the last 10 or 15 minutes, where they've now had 4 really big chances. But here's the Palace Mendy, the Leicester player in the penalty area, turns and shoots, and he wants a corner. The referee says goal kick. It was high and wide to the right-hand side.
A lovely turn for Mendy in the penalty box. It just comes off the shin of Kuki, who made the error in the first half, leading to Senegal's first goal. And that's a couple of decisions now that the referee's got wrong with deflections which have gone over the bar. That should have been a corner to Senegal.
Qatar's change. Abdulaziz has come on.
Appreciate the views, everyone.
Boudiaf, who 12 years ago was earning €500 a month with Nancy reserves, and at that stage he was offered €10,000 a month to go and play in Doha, and they assimilated him in. He was able to qualify for residency, and here he has been at the World Cup, but he's now been replaced by Abdulaziz Hatim, 109th cap for the midfielder who's scored a few long-range goals in his time. He scored outside the box against Korea and Japan at the Asian Cup. Could he produce a bit of magic here for Qatar? They desperately need something. As Ismail Mohammed, who's had the best chance so far, throws the ball into the penalty area. Ahmed tried it back here. He assumed a teammate was behind him. There was no one there. And another chance goes a begging.
I think he's trying to play the 1-2. I think he thinks that when he plays the ball in, Mohammed, he's going to follow it and then he's going to continue making his run round. But it wasn't to be. But this is better from Qatar. I mean, this is what we've been wondering, where they scored all these goals in the Asian Cup. Where's this performance been? And now we're seeing an intensity, but Afifa's started to roam. He started to find positions on the pitch which is causing Senegal problems. And I go back to that 4-4-2 system from Senegal. I think it causes them problems because they're outnumbered hugely in midfield.
12 years to prepare for this World Cup, and Qatar will feel that it's only now in the final quarter, really, of their second game that they're showing what they can do, and that's what will hurt them. You know, no one expected Qatar to go on and win the World Cup, but they wanted it to show the best of themselves. They've invested so much money and so much has been said about that. They've been so poor for the first game and a half. Now we're actually seeing, you know, not world beaters, but we see what they're capable of.
Yeah, I think in the first half they competed well, they were organised. It was a huge improvement on the game against Ecuador in the first opening game, but now we're starting to see them being a little bit more inventive, a little bit more skill, a little bit more confidence from the players, and they're starting to relax into the game.
2-0, Senegal 2. Diaz got the first goal, Jeju got the second. now Qatar are about to make a double change. Bamba Dieng is going to come on. He plays with Marseille. And also, Ilman Dieng, who plays with Sheffield United. Born Paris, he will come on for what is just his third.
Big up everybody in the live stream. I appreciate the support, everyone.
This could become a very nervy final 20 minutes plus. Who knows what stoppage time? I mean, the way this World Cup has been going, there could be 30, 35 minutes to go here. Ball into the penalty area, another chance, and it was Kouki, and he tried to play it back across goal. And too many defenders.
Oh, really trying to get this really trying to get this last this like a goal.
He did really well there. It came off the upper leg of a defender. I think they might have thought it could have been a handball. It came off his own player, Miguel. Miguel gets in the way. I don't know how it's coming out for a corner. He gets in the way and it prevents another goal for Qatar. Abdulaziz Hatem, one of the substitutes, is going to take it. He's played it very high towards the back post. And there's a clash of heads. And the referee is going to hold on play. And there's a player down, I think it's Kamala Jeju. No, it's not, it's Jacobs. Jacobs slowly back up to his feet after a clash of heads there at the far post. So, 2-0 down. Qatar throwing the kitchen sink in it now. It was Pedro jumping with Jacobs, and Jacobs won the header, and Pedro's head went into the back of his skull. It's a change here for Qatar. They're going to bring on another attacker. I mean, they've got to just go for it now. Mohamed Moutari, who scored against the Republic of Ireland last year, the game they played in Hungary.
Jeez, thanks everyone that voted on the poll.
It's Al Hedous who's been replaced. He passes over the armband to Abdulaziz Hatem.
I appreciate that.
Al Hedous makes way to allow the introduction of Mohamed Moutari. Well, they need firepower, don't they? They need a poacher in the box who could score a goal. Can he be the man who will score the first goal of the World Cup for Qatar in the history? Created plenty of opportunities in the second half. They just haven't got that quality in the final. For Senegal. Taking up Jeju. Takes on. There were 15 minutes of normal time as play in the International Stadium in Doha. This is live for the BBC. We're live on BBC Sounds and across Africa on the BBC World Service, where Senegal might just be a quarter of an hour plus stoppages away from recording the first African victory of this World Cup tournament in Qatar. Somali has possession near the halfway line. Gets it back again from Dieng. Now Koulibaly. The experience of Senegal beginning to show now as Qatar, who've been shaking this bottle of fizzy drink for quite a bit of the second half, and Senegal are now trying to calm things down and just open the top a little bit of gas out, try and quell what Qatar were hoping might be a comeback. Long way back into this one.
Man, boy, that fell for truth. Oh my Lord.
Winning the free kick against Koulibaly. Well, the game's had plenty of changes now, and both teams have freshened up the legs, and can Qatar, with just roughly sort of 15 minutes or so in normal time left without the added time, can they find an opening? Can they find that moment? Felix Sanchez just saying to his players, relax, calm down, don't be rushing. There's plenty of time to get a goal, to find ourselves, to get back into this game. 2 years ago, Edouard was on loan at Leeds United. He made his senior debut in the Northern Premier League Premier Division. Here he is, 24 months later, playing the World Cup for Senegal, the African Cup of Nations champions. He's made a good impact with Sheffield United, being his parent club, developed him through. This is the big stage for him now. Qatar 0, Senegal 2. As Abdulaziz Hatem controls, he's been neat and tidy since coming on the middle of the midfield for the host. Gets it back again here on the right channel. Good defending though. Launching across Pathé Cisse, who's big and strong. Gets to it first and puts the ball out of play. For a throw in to Qatar. They've got no time to waste. It's back with Ulen Kouki. He's challenged though inside the center circle, and it's too low for challenge. And that's going to be a free kick to change is coming up. Senegal having Abou Cissé, who started the first game. He's going to come on. The double change here. They're going to take off Mendy and they're going to take off Jacobs as well. We're going to see Tottenham's Pepe Sarr, who Tottenham fans won't have seen much or indeed any of. He's yet to make his competitive debut for Spurs, but Antonio Conte is quoted as saying that this guy is the future of Spurs. He only turned 20 in September. Pepe Sarr is on for Senegal here, and so too Abou Cissé plays for face one of the Icons. Cissé away defence.
I don't think Senegal are going to concede still. There's about 30 minutes plus added time, so let's say like another 20 minutes, because they always add at least 5 minutes most of the time. So yeah, man. Oh my days. Qatar scored. You're actually right. Man was right. Man said Senegal might concede and they conceded. Oh, it is.
Was it Montari with the header to score the goal for Qatar, and their supporters are happy they haven't left early this time.
A lovely switch of play by Hassan. It's a raking ball from left to right, and then Ismail Mohammed touches it down, sets himself, puts a beautiful ball into the middle, and it allows Montari to go and attack the ball. He powers his header above Koulibaly, down into the bottom left-hand corner. I think we've got a game on our hands, Connor.
Wow, if only Qatar were able to produce what we've seen the last 25 minutes. If they had done that from the get-go of this World Cup, it might have been a different story. We were critical at half-time of Senegal's team. They've got their 2 goals, but they've not been able to turn the screw.
They haven't at all. They've been sloppy, they've been lazy, they haven't really played up an intent. It was almost as if to say, they're not good enough. We're not fearful of them. You've got to be fearful in world football.
It's a 13th international goal for Mohamed Montari. Sprung from the bench. And boy, he had some spring in his heels as he got up to head that cross into the back of the net. An emphatic goal that reduces the deficit to 2-1 now. And it's a wake-up call for Senegal. They cannot relax yet.
What these dumb things say about hold boys for you.
Still to go. Away at the foot post, but Pedro's going to be another corner to Senegal on the left-hand side.
People try to say, oh, hold goes for you. People are suffering. I don't get how bots do this stuff and what the time for doing it stuff. Some people. My bro Charles, love for that, my bro. I hope Senegal just win, bro. I'll be right. I need them to win. I need them to win still. Yeah, and you probably done the poll thing, so I appreciate that, my bro. And I appreciate the comment and the view. Love for that.
Felix Sanchez now, he'll be telling his players again to relax.
Well, you coming to for his birthday meal tomorrow?
They cut through Senegal, they caused them problems, they've created opportunities, and then finally they've managed to get that one moment of quality which has got them back into the game.
12 shots this tournament before the goal.
100. Man bang on themselves and they bang still. Yeah, that's excellent. Man will see you there tomorrow still. Man needs to fill up man's belly, fam. Honestly. It's a long time since we've really gone out like that, so we'll be calm. Say no. How have you been, though?
So they can breathe easy again. Ball flashes through a busy penalty area, and in the end,
10 minutes left. Come on.
It's sometimes very difficult to try and turn it back on again, especially for Senegal now.
I think so. I'm not sure about how many. I'm not sure exactly, but Fizz said that the table was for like 15 people. So I'll be surprised if all the man them don't go. So I'd expect to hear everyone there. Jeez, man said you got a babes. I didn't even know you got a babes, my bro. Yeah, the table was 15 people, fam. You're gonna be bare man there. But hey, yo, congratulations on finding a new missus, my bro. Hopefully you stay with her forever. Hopefully, inshallah. But yeah, man, Charles is always on the work team. That's why we hardly ever see you, fam. You're just constantly working, my dog. I need to be like you. Oh, swear down. Say nothing. You know, like I thought you two was gonna do a team because you was always together, fam. You was always together. So hopefully you man are good and you guys stay together forever, innit? Don't want you guys being together for years upon years and then you just end up splitting up. I ain't got time for that. So and I said goal Lazo, what did someone score? Oh, you said goals. Oh, my bad, goals. Man said she thought I was going to move to her one time. Man's killing me. I'll be real to you, fam. She came to my house a couple times with you, so I just added her because she's your friend. Like, why would I think? How many girls do you actually spend alone time with? Oh, damn, that's the golazo. Come on. And you're ahead of man still. You're ahead of man. 3-1 Senegal, say nothing. But, nah, fam, I wasn't even trying to move to her. Because I already know, bro, like I said, how many times would you bring a girl to my house by yourself? The only other girl you ever done that with was with your girl. Or your ex, isn't it? So, yeah, man. But hopefully you guys are together forever. So, yeah, man. It's mine, though. 3-1 Senegal, though. 3-1 Senegal.
The speed in which he hits the ball, it's right next to him, but it doesn't matter. It's clinical. It could be game, set, match. I think it takes a slight deflection as well, which does take it away from Garsham.
Qatar won. Senegal 3 were just after they took off the two defenders. They were throwing everything at it, and as tends to happen when you throw everything at it in attack, you leave gaps in the back. Big moment from Mendy. It's only his second ever goal.
Yeah, man.
He was the guy who scored the penalty.
Fam, I hope you guys wish you nothing but happiness in it. And have I watched every single match? I haven't watched every single match, but I have watched every match that a Chelsea player was meant to participate in. Like even yesterday, Switzerland played, or was the day before that they played. The guy I was meant to watch, he didn't even come on. He was just on the bench. But I watched that match, innit? Every watch long I do, there's always a Chelsea player. There's a Chelsea player in the squad, so that's what I do. But yeah, I haven't watched every match. Still, I've watched most of the matches, though. So far, if I had to pick like teams that impressed me the most, it has to be what's that thing called? So it would definitely have to be what's that thing called? England, Spain, France, Brazil. Those are the teams that impressed me the most. And fam, I'm the realist, bro. Nah, I hear it, innit? But obviously, like in a sense, this could be like it, innit? Because even though CFC Red Blue is a Chelsea channel, innit? So it has everything Chelsea related. There's other people that will have like a TV kind of thing, but I just started this off with the CFC Red Blue. Who knows? Maybe obviously I could start a community. Just because I'm CFC Red Blue, I could do a thing where I'm CFC Red Blue Shads. If I add other people as the years go on, if I get more people involved, they could become a part of the team. So if I got people to work with, man, they could be CFC Realist Blue and have their name at the end of it as well. So I could make a whole type of community thing. But those are just things that will happen once this gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it will. Because unless Chelsea stop existing or football stops existing, then man will always be on this. So Honestly, start small, we evolve. That's the thing. I just can't wait to evolve and just get bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's just what it is. I got all these ideas in man's head, innit? But I appreciate you trying to give man some ideas as well. Not a lot of people always give man ideas in terms of what to do, or you should do this and that. So I appreciate it, man.
And he decided he would take one for his team. It's a free kick to Qatar in an attacking position. They remain 3-1 behind.
Well, there should have been a free kick before it, the other way. Senegal, Qatari forward, Moutari, who scores the goal, it's gone in two-footed. And one of the Senegalese players rides the tackle, he goes over it.
My brother.
He sides down Ismail Mohammed, and it is a foul, but the referee missed one before it.
You would imagine Qatar will go for goal here. The free kick is.
Come on, man, this game needs to end. Once this game ends, I need to go get a trim, fam. Honestly, I need to go get a haircut after this. Go look sharp for tomorrow, you know.
And Edouard Mendy, the Chelsea goalkeeper, is screaming at his defenders to get this wall right. The clock ticks on. We're into the final 2 minutes of normal time. We've yet to
Senegal.
the stoppages. Senegal have already scored 3 goals in this game. They lead 3-1. Qatar with the reverse move, and it's drilled wide.
That was close.
He was the player who had that shot from.
Fam, I ain't had a trim in like 3 weeks, fam. That's long, fam. That's long. When's the last time you got a trim?
The shot at the end from Abdul Karim is well won.
Yeah, very clever play from Qatar. So quick to move the ball to Hassan. Strikes a lovely ball. Mendy was rooted. He wasn't getting there. He looked at his far post thinking, I hope that goes past my post because I'm in trouble. And he was in trouble. He just sat to it down on his knee. He was beaten.
Appreciate the likes and views, everyone.
He's standing there as if he's shielding the ball, and he suddenly breaks and he hits it off his left boot. He is left-footed, he's left-sided defending. That shot that he had early in the game, which we were absolutely drooling over, that was hit with his right. He can do incredible shots off either foot.
How much at a time? I beg you don't add a mad team, please. I beg you don't add a mad team, I beg.
The first one, it bobbled perfectly in front of him to get the strike in.
It's the final minute of the 90. Qatar 1, Senegal 3. Netherlands against Ecuador in this group is coming up in just over an hour's time. And Alistair Bruce Ball has the team news, Ali.
2 changes made by Louis van Gaal after the Netherlands win over Senegal. Jurien Timber comes in at right back to replace Matthijs de Ligt. Teun Koopmeiners at Atalanta comes into the midfield, and he replaces Steven Berghuis. Ecuador have gone for 3 centre-backs. 1 change for them. Jackson Perozo, known as the Animal, comes into the team. He replaces the left winger Romario Ibarra. And if Senegal win that game that you're doing right now, Connor, the Netherlands know a win for them here, and they are through to the last 16.
That's very much Ali alongside Matt Hobson for commentary of Netherlands against the Ecuador. As the big games keep coming here in the World Cup, as Mohamed Moutari inside the penalty area tries to get his head to a cross from the left-hand side, but he can't produce an attempt on target. Qatar are out to their feet now. They've given this everything. Their second half performance hasn't been bad at all, but so poor in the first period.
Oh, lucky.
Much to do.
6 minutes added on. These men love it, fam.
And he just shields the ball out, knowing it'll be a throw into Senegal as the Africans try to run the clock down now as we move into stoppages at the end of the game.
Just wondering what you'd be known as, Connor. Just the Animal.
I was going to say,
brilliant.
Ali BB's he's such a polite guy. He's a bit of an animal himself, you know. But I think he's far more timid, I think. Yeah.
To be fair, I've heard he's enjoying the cake.
I'm watching on BBC iPlayer still, so that's part of the reason why I'm a little bit behind, because it's not the actual BBC, innit? It's just on this live stream thing, basically. In a sense.
So we've moved into 6 minutes. 6 minutes being added on, which by this World Cup standard is actually quite slim. So it doesn't afford Qatar much opportunity to get the minimum.
That's why you're probably ahead of man, because you're actually watching it on BBC One.
The hosts are in trouble, not just in this game, which appears to already sail past them, having lost their opener, but they could be eliminated with the game to spare, depending on how things get on in that Netherlands-Ecuador game coming up with Ali and
yeah, man, it's what happens still. If I watch it on, if I do the ITV thing, if the game's on ITV, I'm more up to date on that one still.
throw-in is won by Mendy. He
But
takes it
it is what it is. More time I'm behind because I don't necessarily have the best Wi-Fi connection as well. My dad's all got man on, what's that thing called? My dad's all got man on Vodafone. That's man's Wi-Fi. So if it's never the fastest, that's the reason why. But it gets like that. At least I can watch the match. You know?
Very, very capable, but they're definitely missing key players. You can see that it has affected them. But I expected a lot more from them.
Not many teams in the world who would be improved with losing Sadio Mane. Just look at Liverpool. He's a huge miss for this team. But they will be pleased now to have got 3 goals in this game, and that's certainly at the bare minimum gives them much to build on going into their final match against Ecuador. Cross from the right-hand side, punched away by Michel Barsham. I wonder will he keep his place in goal for the final group game when Qatar come up against the Netherlands. They've had El Shad, they've had Barsham. Who knows what's going to happen for Qatar, and will it even matter? Will they still have a chance going into that final game? Here is Kouki, who'll be so disappointed. His mistake in the first half opened the door for Senegal, but he fell to his backside inside the penalty area. Couldn't clear the ball away. No danger at all. He just lost his balance, and he presented the chance for Boulaye Diagne to score the opening goal.
Off the road, bro.
Felix Sanchez is looking at it and going, do you know what? I'm going to give everyone a run in the World Cup. I'm not being serious, Connor. I mean, will they get to another World Cup in the near future? And you look at Hassan, the third choice goalkeeper, will he play him in the next game and give him the opportunity to play in the World Cup?
The pressure must be enormous given the investment. I'm sure much of his job, Felix Sanchez, has been to try and tame down expectations. Say, hang on, do you realise how hard this is going to be? What didn't help in that regard, in terms of expectancy, is when they won the Asian Cup. Because suddenly everyone's thinking, well, hang on a minute, we could compete. But they're a big school now. Qatar, they are up against tougher opponents. That's a great little move there.
Come on, don't score.
He shoots in the top corner, he puts it too high. Lovely shimmy to create the space. He tried to bend it to the top corner, but he couldn't keep it down. 3-1 it remains to Senegal.
Lovely footwork from Ali, who just drops the shoulder. 2 players go for it, and he finds himself just trying to bend it into the far left-hand corner. It'd have to be something special to beat Edouard Mendy today, who's been in sensational form, only beaten by a close-range header. But don't forget, he made 2 brilliant saves in this game. He made 2 huge saves, one from Ismail Mohammed and the other one from Ali down at his bottom right-hand corner.
Contrasting mood amongst the respective supporters. The Senegalese party has already begun. It's a flash of green and yellow and red, some wonderful outfits brought by the African visitors to Qatar to support their team, but a much more somber mood in this rapidly emptying stadium. And in the areas that aren't being occupied by Senegalese fans, there are far more empty seats now than occupied ones. And just like the opening game, the expectancy of the Qatari fans has been let down. They've seen it up, and they have made
hurry up, just end this match. The game's done. It's basically full time.
It's disappointing because it doesn't reflect the performance on the pitch in the second half. I think you'd be very proud of what the team put in. They've been unfortunate not to get more out of it. They've tested Mendy on numerous occasions, and but for brilliance from Mendy, they'd have perhaps been level at this point.
The game must be done now, I'm sure.
What would Qatar really expecting? I mean, surely support your team through to the bitter end is the bare minimum. It's almost like, you've let us down, we're leaving. It doesn't leave a great taste in the mouth, and I'm sure much more is going to be said about that.
Come on, man.
Opening game, raised eyebrows, and it's been backed up again.
Alright, enough of that, my bro. Game done. Full time. Senegal 3, Qatar 1. Aye, to everyone who joined the live stream, I appreciate you. It means a lot. Obviously, Edouard, Mendy, Koulibaly, they pick up their first win in the World Cup. They only need, if they win their next match, they're through to knockout rounds, or if they draw, depending on the other results, they can go through as well. So, big them up, good performance. Unlucky not to get a clean sheet. But, like I said, for everyone that voted, how many people voted on the thing? 10 people voted. Thank you to everyone that done the poll. Senegal did win the match. Let me end that. And thank you to all the people that commented. So Charles, Drew, Drew, and also Keith, my bros. Appreciate all of that. And at 6:45, man will be back with the England vs USA watch along, as Christian Pulisic's USA will be taking on England's Mason Mount, Raheem Sterling, and Conor Gallagher and co. So watch out for that one. That's at 6:45, but I'll be releasing the player stats as well soon, so check out that one for the shorts. But as again, thank you to everyone who joined. Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Alright, say nothing then, my bro. Love for that. And yeah, man. For anything though, my people, I will catch you guys later. I'm CFC with this blue. Remember to follow on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and TikTok for more Chelsea content. I am CFC with this blue, and I'm out. Peace.
Finally, but I would have loved to see more goals from Senegal. You know, they stopped attacking at 2-1, and maybe this can cost them the qualification.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?